Oh shit.
What up, guys?
Goodbye,
Hello,
everybody. We're going on break.
Goodbye. We're gonna hit you with a quick break real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're not. Well, what up, y'all? Welcome. We're here. We're back. We're doing it.
I'm back in studio.
What's poppin'?
Dead Body Man's back in the motherfucking hay.
I'm happy to say that it was what I thought, that I was clear of the COVID, and but you know, precautions are precautions. So I'm just trying to keep y'all safe. Not y'all in the listener land, but y'all two over there on the microphones.
You don't want to keep the listeners safe?
I do. I mean, I guess in a Kevin Bacon. I guess in a Kevin Bacon, what is it? 5 degree world. I would be keeping them safe by keeping you two safe.
I don't even know what you're trying to say right now.
I'm saying that, like, if you get sick and then you get somebody else sick, there's a potential that within 5 people of getting sick from me getting you sick, it could get a listener sick.
You're gonna get a lot of people sick.
I could. That's why I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. And that is, that's all. Like,
now we're all getting sick.
Well, no, we're not, because I was being sick. Hey! That is not my cough. But that's why I haven't been here, and it sucks, man, because I did take the initial break.
It did not suck.
It did suck, because I took the initial break when the initial lockdown happened. Everybody's freaking out, and I was like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I should do this, and then I did that for a couple weeks, and then y'all convinced me to come back in studio, and I was like, you know what? I like in studio way better after doing it, and then like I had to lock it back down. I was like, God damn it, this is stupid. You know, it was nice not having, like, being in bed as the show went off air, but it's way better being here. I like being in studio.
Yeah.
Faux show.
Except my headphones. I cannot stand these goddamn headphones.
Well, you could, all that time you spend quarantining. No one can see my parentheses. You could have got headphones.
Quarantining.
Amazon ships hella for you. Could order headphones now. They'd be at your house waiting for you.
It's not the it's the wires. But you know what? Fuck you and your little quotations. I was doing that for you, but you know what? Next time I come in contact with potential infection, I will absolutely be here.
You did it on the way here, probably.
I will absolutely be here. And Rue, I hope you're ready. I will text you, Rue, and go, hey, by the way, I'm bringing COVID to your house potentially.
You stopped at the store and got your fucking Truly or whatever seltzer liquor you're drinking today, and
this is wine, and I wore a mask to get this.
The people that made that wine they had COVID all over their feet when they were stepping on the grapes.
Probably. I don't think that. I don't think they make it like that anymore. That after that news lady that fell off the fucking.
Oh, that shit was hilarious, man.
After the news lady fell off the fucking grape stand, they're like, we should probably automate this.
Nope.
That shit was hilarious.
You gotta get that. That's why you gotta get that flavor in there. What is the County Toes flavor?
It does taste like foot.
Does it? Fuck yeah, man. How do you think the Ninja Turtles bad guys started?
They poured a bunch of shit down the sewer.
That was the good guys. The bad guys were the foot.
I'm the foot, bitch.
Hell yeah, that guy too.
That guy? Is that how he got there?
Right?
No, that was not Boondocks. I don't think that was Boondocks. That was some random.
No. That was who was that?
Random it was some random guy.
No, it was somebody. Boondocks was the laser eye guy.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't think they did fucking the one from space.
That was one of the wrestlers.
The laser eye.
They didn't do that from space.
He was the ghost. Boondocks was the ghost. You know, Big Money Hustlers just turned 20 a couple days ago.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that, oddly enough, it was a wrestler. It was one of the wrestlers.
What are they gonna call the one that's from outer space? I mean, like Big Money Zappers or something?
Thrusters.
Oh yeah, thrusters.
At first, I said it's not happening because it's twisted.
Oh yeah, those bastards.
It's not happening because of Twisted. They can't do Big Money Thrusters without stinking poo.
Yeah.
But they said they may do another movie, but it won't be that.
Yeah. But, it won't be a cinematic classic, a blockbuster.
It won't be any good, that's for sure.
It could be okay.
Could it?
Yes. Anything's possible.
Every show, I swear to God, we take shots.
I'm sticking up for them.
For who? Once. Which one?
Some of them are funny. Some of them have moments. Some of them are okay. Hold on. Here it is. He's on the screen right now.
In case you guys don't know, we have Killator on the show tonight.
Killator.
That's who we got.
I think that Shaggy Girl is a little too like.
You ever seen a picture of Killator? It's fucking Skeletor, bro.
Like an over the top with I love that it's a thing. I love that he's doing Instagram and he's doing the vlogs.
Oh,
I love that he's doing it.
I think it's funny.
I just think that's the type of humor that's not for me. That's not for me. Like some of the things are funny. Some of the other things I'm like, okay, I get it. It's corny. You know?
Is it drunk Terry Funk? Is that who?
Terry Funk?
Is that who plays the foot?
I would never know who that is.
I don't know. I don't think so.
But no, what was I saying? So yeah, they started out doing the vlog with the videos and stuff.
You mean the
when they did
sock
like
monkey, the little sock thing?
The foot?
What the fuck are you talking about?
The foot? You're paying attention like me now, man. Come on.
Well, I mean, the sock goes on your foot.
No, from not? Big Money.
Did you see the foot in the Rustlers?
Yeah, that was
the Too Tough Tony.
Nope. Mankind.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Sacco.
He was in the.
No, we're talking about Big Money Rustlers.
No, we're talking about something totally different. Totally different. I don't know how you got to Mr. Sacco.
Dude, I'm the foot, bitch.
I'm the foot, bitch. Where he was in a wheelchair and his foot was the size of his torso.
I'm just trying to help you guys out, but you don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, you're talking about a totally different character
in a
different movie.
I was just thinking of wrestlers, bro. That would have been in a fucking movie.
Well, okay, I get where he branched off. You said wrestler, and he branched off from there. Oh Jesus!
Why do you have video?
What's happening?
Maybe that's
we're listening to the awesome show Replicon Radio.
Yeah, I was like, why is that happening? That's you.
I know why it happened.
Because you had your volume on when you were watching that porn because your phone broke.
That is true.
I have TVs and DVDs, sir.
He's old school.
Because I'm an old fool who's so cool.
But anyway, what I was going to say about Shaggy, like some of the stuff is kind of funny, but now they're doing like their little weekly just podcast where they talk, and I enjoy it way more.
See, I haven't watched it since then, to be honest. Like all I see is that
they do a weekly podcast and they just chat and talk, and
that'd probably be cool.
It's fun. I
think
their videos can be a little over the top. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not.
I get what they're doing, and I'm all for it. I'm not down in it. It's just not my type of humor because I find it kind of cringy. More so on Shaggy's side, but I've always thought that about Shaggy. I've always thought that he was a little cringy. You know, that like some of his stuff, like it's like, oh, I'm glad that you're talking because you don't ever talk, but God, man. Oh, cringy. But keep talking, please. Keep talking.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, but no, so do they do an official platform, like a podcast platform, where they put it out in audio form and all that shit?
They do it live on YouTube, but yes, it's also available on audio.
What up, Stir Crazy?
Okay, I'm not trying to, put a huge promotion out there for
Too Tough Tony.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh,
to go back to the last
to do the foot.
Yes.
Wow, I have to fucking look because I thought it was some old dude. That makeup job was amazing.
I played it on the screen. Actually.
All I was looking at was Bridget the Midget the entire movie. So even though she was only in like 2 scenes, that's all I was thinking. I was thinking about.
It's Bridget Powers.
Yep. Which
I'm looking at the
time has not been kind to her, but she has not been kind to her body. I've seen some of the things that she has done. Okay, I've seen a lot of the things that she's done. She has not been kind to her body.
Gross. Y'all are gross.
You get over here, you little nugget.
That's what you call her?
Yeah, that's what she calls herself.
Little Bridget Nugget.
Little Bridget Nugget,
Bridget Nugget.
Mm-hmm.
For $2.99, you can get 12 chicken rings at White Castle.
That's true. Those aren't Bridget Nuggets. Those are chicken rings.
Rings are better than
What about
nuggets.
Bridget rings?
There we go.
Sounds like some sort of Olympic event.
I don't know what was more funny, the way you said it or the actual sentence itself. He put a Olympic.
There you go.
Event. Yeah, man. Killator on the show tonight.
I would still train.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Killator. Killator.
You guys big fans?
Absolutely. Massive fans.
It's gonna be dope. Killator.
I will be a massive fan after tonight, hopefully.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Corpse Circus.
Oh, yeah. That guy.
Yeah. That'll be the shit. What else is going on in the world? So much shit happened. We had Big Ruth's secret surprise birthday party.
Was it, what is a secret or was it a surprise?
It was
both.
It was both.
I think it was a surprise birthday party.
It was also a secret because I couldn't tell you about it.
Which, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But
it was fun.
It was a secret because I couldn't tell you either.
That's why he quarantined himself for 2 weeks, so he wouldn't slip up
so
and
he
say
could
something.
See what Sam, and he still didn't show up.
Yeah. Well,
it was such a surprise he couldn't even make it.
I was shocked, man. I was like, whoa, man, I didn't know. You know, it was a secret to me.
It was.
No, but for the listeners out there, it was I going back to the disrespectful quote-unquote self-quarantine. I was doing it because it was within the 14 days of me potentially being exposed to COVID, and you know, I didn't want to go to a bar and like be a jackass about it. Yes, I've gone to grocery stores with my mask on and sanitized and really kind of kept social distancing out in public, but like I haven't been in close quarters with anybody. And I didn't want to do that. You know, for fuck's sake, I missed my dad's 70th surprise birthday party the Saturday before, and then I missed your birthday party this last weekend, and it's like, it sucks, man. It's like fucking.
You quit quarantining yourself, you wouldn't miss out on that shit.
Yeah, maybe if I didn't want to be responsible, I'd come out and fucking do that shit. And fuck yeah, girl, I'm American. I don't need to fuck COVID. I can just say that COVID ain't real, and it makes it real. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that wouldn't help you at all.
No, well,
I mean, you notice people don't get sick anymore; they get fucking COVID. If nobody catches a cold, it's COVID. What? Like,
everybody's catching COVID. The cold COVID. There's a lot of new cases there, and they're talking about another shutdown, man. Like they're already hinting at it. And
it's for all you weaklings wanting to listen to the government, so they got control over you.
I ain't wearing a mask because the government's going to control my mind, man. They're taking my rights.
I mean, that's how I feel. I shouldn't have to wear a mask if I don't want to. What's wrong with your mask? If you want to wear a mask, it should protect you, not me, right?
No. The mask is to protect you from me.
I don't give a fuck about any of you motherfuckers. Nobody give a fuck about me.
I mean, that is the very American mentality to keep, and that is why.
I mean, motherfucker, you ain't a millionaire. You ain't rich. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
I get that.
So why do I give a fuck about them?
However, you get one sick worker bee in the colony, it's going to affect all the other worker bees, which is going to affect all the other little builder bees. It's going to affect all the other queen bees.
All before COVID even hit, we had people sick coming into work, and nobody else got sick.
I had a fucking dude come into work sick for a week before we were like, hey, by the way, the one store that you went to had COVID, and he's like, oh, well, I've been sick. Bitch, what? Like,
I've been sick, so I'm gonna come to work.
The fuck?
I mean, that's the way our society works. It's the way our government's been built. You have to work in order to fucking survive.
And it's not even
you ain't getting shit for free. I ain't getting shit for free.
And the way of where I work is that, like, right now we're building a location, so we have a warehouse and there's 3 of us, and we basically kind of come in at our own times, and sometimes we're there at the same time, sometimes we're not, but we come get our trucks, we do whatever we got to do at the warehouse, like load or unload or whatever the fuck, and then we leave, and then we're basically not at the warehouse all fucking day. And you know, we're kind of in and out whenever how our routes go. Right. And so, but the thing is that we can't shut down. So even though I didn't even have to self quarantine. I opted to outside of work. And even in work, like, I was like, I don't really come into contact with a lot of people. And even with the days that I had to, I was like, I'm going to really try to limit as much as I can. But I couldn't stop working. I had to keep coming in. Like, there was
an addiction.
As long as, well,
why did you have to keep going to work?
Because if I didn't, the way what we do, is the fact that if it's one of those things that
I mean, they can always find somebody to take your spot.
yeah, another company, and then we lose that customer, and then we shut down.
But why'd you really go to work?
Because if I don't, then we have to find another company, a competitor, to cover for our non-coverage.
So if this company said that, hey, you know, we're not going to be able to pay you this week or next week, you're still going to go to work?
No, the company paid us.
No,
Company's
I'm just saying, though, if the company came to you tomorrow and said, hey, I'm not going to be able to pay you for the next couple of weeks, but I still need you to come in.
No, I wouldn't come in.
Why'd you really go to work?
I mean, they were still paying me.
Because you need money.
But
you have bills to pay.
Well, here's the thing: is that I know because we're building. But here's the thing: you are already working in an established location with multiple things, with multiple warehouses and all that stuff. We're starting from scratch.
Right.
We're starting from scratch, which means that we have to. If we want this for two things. It's a benefit for our company in our company's eyes. Yes, we are making them money and we are building a location for them, which in turn secures us job security for the future. We continue to get a paycheck. So in a short-term worker bee type of mentality, I want another paycheck. I want paychecks for at least another year or a year and a half, for the foreseeable future. Like, hey, I want to keep making this money that I'm making right now, and in order to do that, I have to make sure my company survives in this region.
I mean, that's what we all have to do, that going to work,
but
to make sure that we do a good job and our customers are taken care of, so they keep us. But
that is true. But the fact that we are not established in this region, we are building this region. It's even more.
So you set your prices low and try to steal the competition.
We've been doing that. We did that. We're doing a fantastic job at it. We're doing a great job at it, and we're on the road to booming this location. However, we got hit with multiple negatives at the same time. We have a fleet of like 5 trucks. And we have 3 drivers that drive different trucks. And we had 3 trucks go down at the same time for weeks. And then we had one of our drivers get sick. And then one of our other drivers went on vacation, already had a couple days off vacation requested. And it all came in at the same fucking time. I've been working so many fucking hours the last couple weeks just to try and keep up with everything. And also, now our other driver's back. When he gets caught up, we should be good again. It's just that there was a lot of things that happened at the same time. And then the COVID scare, it really fucked everything up.
Let me ask you this: where were the owners at, or his replacement?
We don't have a replacement for him.
Okay, where was your boss at? Your boss should have been out running his route.
My boss does not have a CDL.
Well, then how the hell are they a boss? They should be able to.
That is
fill the feeds.
Okay, that is
fields, right?
The things I have.
If somebody doesn't show up, you're running a small company like that. You need to be there for yourself.
Okay, here's the thing. I know I painted a picture that this is a small company. This is an international company. This is a growing company from overseas. We have offshore drilling rigs. We have one of the only state-of-the-art oil re-refineries in the company.
Big company.
It's a giant company, and we're growing. We're growing. We just started our St. Louis location less than 2 years ago, with one guy.
So is this a big company or a little company?
It's a giant company, but in St. Louis, it's one location, and there's only 3 guys. We're growing the location. We have other locations all across the eastern United States, the southeast, the Midwest, and all that stuff. We're growing western. We're growing across the United States. So this location, we're trying to work on growing it. You get a driver in a location, you get them some customers, you start bringing in an influx of money, and then you grow it from there to where you have enough influx that you have to get a second driver, a second truck.
Right.
And then from there, you get a third truck and a third driver, and then so on and so on.
Hey, girl.
We're on our third driver and four different trucks. And I drive 2 trucks. The other guys drive the other ones. and but it's growing. But the company as a whole is massive. It's a massive company. We're international, and it's a massive. We're basically a massive oil recycling conglomerate. We're on the cusp of that,
Right.
and we're taking over the other used oil companies in this region fairly easily, like especially with this COVID thing, because of the pricing differences and all that stuff. Like, but the thing is that we can only grow so fast before us three drivers are working 80 hours a week. Like it becomes unsustainable to it's a very fine line where we can only grow so fast before the company gets us another driver, another truck. We can only grow so fast, but like right now we're kind of like trying to grow with the company. And when we got hit with all that shit at the same time, right now we were growing where if everything was fine, we're all working 10 hours, 11 hours a day. We're fine. We're good. But you throw one little pebble into that and it fucks everything up. You change one guy's route where you have to cover for somebody else. We had a driver out that was out for fucking 2 weeks, and he did a specified route that we only have one truck for that was in the shop, and it's like, son of a bitch, what are we gonna do? And it's a balancing act, I don't believe in killing myself for somebody else's wallet, but at the same time I'm trying to secure my own wallet for at least for the immediate future, by making their wallet sustainable, so they don't go, well, we have to shut this branch down, and guess what, you don't have a job. So but
having a CDL, you can go anywhere.
Oh no, I absolutely could. I'm not worried about finding another job, but this job in particular, I make good money and I make good benefits, or I have good benefits. And truth be told, I love this job. I love the hours I work and all that stuff, and I love the people I work with, and it's a good job. So I really don't want to lose that.
Right. And
it's a balancing act, man, and it sucks. We just got hit with a really rough time, given the circumstances.
Oh, don't cry, man.
I'm just saying. I just feel bad.
It's just wine you're drinking. It's okay.
It's just,
It's only wine. Don't mean you have to wine.
Yeah. Shout out to the motherfucking chat room. Grape Joe said, "What is this? The Captain Obvious show?"
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. What's happening, real freak? Happy almost birthday, Lindsay. What up, Andrew?
Shout out to the
shout out to motherfucking Stir Crazy, keeping it clean in the chat. Always sanitizing. Appreciate you. What? Hey, if you guys are just tuning in tonight on the show, we got Killator coming up real short.
Skeletor.
Finish him.
Is he gonna bring He-Man with him too?
I sure the fuck hope so. That'd be
Right.
dope. I feel like if it was Skeletor, which it's not, they don't think they get along very well.
I don't think they do.
That's just.
I think there's a better chance.
That's just show for TV.
There
man.
could be. You could be right. It could just be for show.
We should get Skeletor on here though. Shit.
I mean,
I don't know who voices
does
that
anybody
guy.
have his contact info?
Who voices that guy?
Skeletor? I don't know. Probably Skeletor.
What does Killator do? Is he a rapper?
You want to interview me about the guy? Or you want to talk to him in 30 minutes?
I don't want.
Just hold your horses.
I don't have horses. Sir.
Well, hold them. Hold somebody else's horses.
Better hold them motherfucking reins, bro.
Hold your dog. Squeeze him. Love him. Let him know you care.
Alan Oppenheimer.
Huh?
Oppenheimer.
Open.
That's an old guy.
You know what suggested that we got more voice actors? I think it's a good idea.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I would love that.
Attention, all voice actors in the world. Shoot us the email. Replicanswatching@gmail.com. How about that?
Yeah.
We talked to the one guy. We were gonna have him on like 5 times, and then COVID happened. he was.
Yeah, because you might catch COVID over the phone.
Well, no, he was working on this big new project, and it kind of got on hold, so he didn't want to go out promoting something. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to do it yet. But he was like a part of The Simpsons, and he's making some new cartoon. It was like about the 80s or something. Kind of looked like Bobby's World, but it was something else. If I remember his name, I'd say it out loud, but I don't. And it's that one dude that's everybody's friends with on Facebook, Frylock. I don't remember his name, but he's on my Facebook.
Who's friends with him?
I'm not friends with him.
I don't know, a bunch of people are. A bunch of jugglers.
What about Master Shake?
I think that might be the same guy.
I don't think.
Or maybe that is Master Shake.
Frylock and Master Shake. I would see the Juggalos are friends with Master Shake more than Frylock.
Maybe that's the guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. I'm friends with him though. I still remember his name. Shout out to that guy. Shout out to that guy. Right, Rue?
Yep. Shout out.
You good?
Yeah.
We had Big Rue's birthday. I mentioned it earlier. It was fun. Shout out to everybody that came out. And
Yeah, thank you. I was
partied.
fucking hammered. I was obliviated.
Alan Oppenheimer voiced Killator, and he's like 100 years old now and still alive. Get him on here.
Yes. Last time we wanted to get somebody old on here, it didn't go so well. R.I.P. Sid Haig.
Hit him up.
We can hit him up.
I'm talking about the Alan Oppenheimer guy.
Oh, I was talking about Sid Haig. We did try. We
were gonna get him.
We were gonna get him on, and then we saw him in real life, and we were like, well, you know, he doesn't seem like he's doing too well. And then we were like, well, you know, and
Alan Oppenheimer.
then we didn't, and then you know, offered.
Isn't that how Skeletor talks? Alan Oppenheimer. Something like that. Doesn't he talk like an old guy, kind of?
He-Man.
I could be completely wrong. It's been so long. Maybe I'm talking like Mumra. I don't fucking know. You guys don't even know who Mumra is. That's my homie. Do you know who Mumra is?
Isn't that like the little orange, like little floaty ghost guy?
No, that's Orko.
Orko, that's it.
Mumra is the bad guy from Thundercats. Gathering the Matrix was dope. Did you check it out? I did actually. I did check out some of the Gathering in the Matrix, and it was pretty dope. I saw HB Grizzly kill it. I saw Seven Dimmick, which was super dope. I saw a bunch of people, man. I tuned in as much as I could.
I didn't see any of that.
I know everybody was hating on it because it was CPN and Roxy Red who put it on. But they're not the artists that are performing. You know what I mean? Like, those people they're trying to entertain juggalos who can't gather, and the artists performing are just trying to reach new people.
I mean, I can get past animosity towards either one of them, honestly, mostly towards him. But here as of late, watching, like, I haven't seen a lot of hatred come from him. If any, like, it's all been happiness. Like, I'm actually really happy. I mean, it doesn't wipe any of the stupid shit that somebody says, but as far as like negativity in the scene, I'm just happy to see that he went from being negative in like a negative like influx into the scene to like positivity.
Just doing his own thing.
Doing his own thing.
For sure.
Keeping his own thing. And he put on something positive regardless of whoever he had on.
That was dope.
Like
the parts that I got to watch were like, I was like, this is dope.
It was a positive thing that he put on.
Absolutely.
And really, like, you know, you go from seeing somebody like really negative to be like, you make me feel not good, to like, you know what? I'm happy that you're happy. You know?
For sure.
I'm happy that you're happy.
For real. Like,
for me.
Like
I was in there chatting with people. The few times I tuned in, I was working all day, you know, but.
Oh, did you get shadow banned too? In that chat? Like we did last time?
Nope.
Oh man, what a shocker.
No, he doesn't run that.
Yeah, because because like I said, you know, you go from being negative to happy.
Like, what's up? Much love. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, somebody goes from negative to being happy.
Savademic was in there chatting with people. HB was in there chat. Like, the people performing were in there chatting while they're performing. It was super dope. I miss Trey Pound. I wish I would have saw Trey Pound. Trey Pound's the homie. I know they had a bunch of other stuff going on too. Like, if you went to their website, you can like join chat rooms and shit. But it was like all video based thing. I wasn't trying to do that. I wasn't trying to be on video calls with 15 juggalos.
So you're just trying to hide behind the typing screen?
It wasn't. No, that was like you just get into the chat to be part of the chat. I didn't want to be a part of the chat. I just wanted to watch the event.
Right.
So you can watch the video of the concerts, or you can go join these chat rooms. I just stayed in the YouTube chat. They had one that was like, I guess the drug bridge chat. Everybody's just getting there and they're getting fucked up. I guess it was a cool idea, like that's. And as far as I know, they did it all by themselves. So they had like a bunch of websites. I think they were doing contests. I didn't really know. I heard about it, but I didn't know the details of it. Like, you know what I mean? The only reason I even knew it was happening is because like a couple people on my friends list shared it.
Right.
And I saw somebody post it. I'm like, oh shit, it's going on now? And I would click it. I wish I probably would have watched more of it if I would have known about it. But props to them guys for doing it. The campground Discord was lit. Sevendemic was fucking insane. I watched that whole set. Like, that dude's a beast. He terrorized this motherfucking living room. Like, this shit was dope, man. And HB is just fucking amazing.
I can't wait for her to come out with more shit because, like, you have a dope ass artist. She's just coolest fucking person, and they really only have a very tiny body of work that they can push. And I understand that she's new to the scene and she only has so much.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for her to get a bigger catalog. So I stop hearing the same fucking song. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love you, HB, but like, son of a bitch, I'm tired of hearing the fucking song.
Good song.
I think a lot of that has to do with P, but whatever.
Could be. I'm glad I influenced your playlist so much.
Oh, son of a bitch. No, it's because I listen to Replicon.
I can just picture it. I hear it in my head.
No, it's because I fucking... No, it's because I listen to Replicon radio so much, and you play it like 14 times on our playlist every week.
True.
Okay, three or four times, and consider we have two periods of music playing.
You're a period.
Yeah, period. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A period of greatness.
Yeah, you're a period.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, before I forget, shout out to Damian Quinn. Can I do that?
Shout out.
Let me give a shout out to Damian Quinn. He's got we'll talk about it on Friday on the Daily Dino, but he's got a new album coming out this Friday. You can go pre-order it right now.
Okay.
At gorehopshop.com or however you say all that. But he's the homie.
Gore Shop Hop.
We had a long conversation today. Apparently he thought we had a problem with him.
I'm curious.
Or he probably thought you had a problem with him?
No, he thought he did something to upset Replicon Radio.
Oh, what would he have done to do that?
Nothing.
No,
we cleared it up. He just thought.
I get paranoia. I get it.
Yeah, but no, we had I was like, bro, everyone hates us. Like, nobody takes it serious. Like, and I was like, and at the same time, none of that's true. You know what I mean? It's like...
I mean, just at the same time, I thought that you were butthurt with me because I was taking the quarantine off the last 2 weeks.
Oh, he was. I was. That was real. That wasn't fake.
Okay, so that wasn't paranoia.
That's not pretend, no.
That's real. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, you're not shadow banned from Replicon.
I don't know why he would have thought that because as much times as I've talked
about him, like I've seen you like
fucking months.
Literally, I got a message and I was like, bro, I think you messaged in the wrong Paul. You know,
right?
Like,
yeah.
And then he finally hit me back. He's like, I'm so sorry. Blah blah blah. He's like, I just had this shit in my head. It was super cool, man. And,
well, good.
We're gonna have him back on real soon. It's been a really long time.
I would much rather an artist like I'm happy to hear that he was man enough to reach out and go, hey, I've been thinking about this shit for a while. Like,
that's literally what he said. He thought we had some sort of issue with him.
Yeah,
and we never invited him back. And I was like, you're right about that. But I was like, that's just my bad. Like, I get so caught up in trying to find new people and new shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever go back.
Well, here's the thing:
that's what we're doing. We're building. They're trying to.
But at the same
platform for new.
But then I told him, I go, dude, we tell all of our guests you're always welcome here, your family, yada yada. Or we tell most of our guests that. And I was like, I do it for two reasons: one, because it's absolutely fucking true, and two, because I can't fucking remember what's going on here, or who's doing this, or oh, he's got a new one coming out. We should reach back. You know what I mean? Or how much is too much? Like Damian Quinn, or for example, since we're speaking on him, he probably put out 3 albums this year. Or by the end of this year, he'll put out 3. Which time do we have them? You know what I mean?
That's but
After he
that
drops all 3.
now that now like hearing you say all that now I can see where he thought the problem was, because we've had LSP on multiple times, the same artist, the same couple artists, same on, and then we've had Whitney Payton on a million times. We've had a couple other artists on a million times.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've only had him on once.
One time.
We've never had him on again, but yet, he's put out multiple shit, and
sure.
we've had multiple people from his label on multiple times, but not him, and we don't talk to him. So I can completely understand where he could think like,
that's why I
wow,
wanted to give
these
him a
guys.
shout out.
He's like, these guys don't fucking, and that's not the truth. However, we live in a crazy world, and unfortunately, we don't see everything all the time, because it's chaos all the time.
Fuck yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't mean that we don't love you, because we don't. You're not right in front of us.
Yeah.
Or
we love you.
We just
I don't love you, bro, but you're a homie.
The rest of us love you. Justin Parker's in the chat room. He has a cat.
Clearly, it's on his picture.
Just so y'all know. The cat is hopefully going to be on the show tonight as well. Give it up for motherfucking Lunchbox. What are the lies, Godson? The cat or the love? Or both? But yeah, shout out to him. I just wanted to give him a shout out because he's the homie, and we're going to have him back on real soon. Real soon.
I'm literally drinking grape Kool-Aid right now.
Are you?
Yep.
It's wine, I thought.
It is wine, but it's made out of grapes. And it's my Kool-Aid.
Culture.
It's my Kool-Aid.
But it was fun though, because I got to tell him. And I guess I'll tell you guys too. We're having Scum back on for the second time ever.
Yeah.
And it's been over 2 years.
It has been,
which is crazy.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. Like, but we've had him.
It was
on.
just so weird that I was like, this and this and this, and I was like, oh, by the way, Scum's back in 2 weeks. We haven't had.
I think that might have been what sparked it.
We don't even have he didn't know it wasn't announced yet.
But I mean, like, Scum didn't tell him.
Oh, I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, we don't know how much they talk.
But I'm excited for that too, since we're talking about it, because we don't technically have an official Scum interview.
Every time we've interviewed Scum, it's been.
It was just
there's been some shit. I thought we had him on twice.
No, this will be the second time.
I thought we had him on twice.
The only time we had him on was in the kitchen.
No, because we had him on when I thought it was like a group chat. It wasn't like an official interview, but like we had him on, and we told him about the last time we had him, the one time we interviewed him, and he was like on a fucking.
Yeah, we've hung out with Scum. We've hosted events that Scum has performed at like 5 times.
I thought we at least told him one time on air about the mishaps that we had him on, and because when I could have swore that we had him on the phone, and we had technical difficulties with him on the phone at the second time talking about
show.
Yeah, no, we were telling him about the kitchen show, and we had technical difficulties of him. He was like a guest feature, like that we didn't know was going to be on. I think it was like a mix-up show, like a collab show or some shit. I don't know why it's just sticking out to me that like we had.
I think you're just picturing it in person.
No, because I'm picturing speaking over it all like in a radio setting.
Because we did the freaking we hosted the Fright Fest after party with Scum and MMFD. We hosted the Axis Family Tour. We gave him awards.
Yeah, no, I know all that. We told him in person about it, but I feel like for some reason I'm picturing that he's kind of surprised us by hopping on the phone with somebody that we were talking to, and we had told him because there was technical difficulties on that one, and we were like, yeah, no, it's just like when we had you on the first time in the kitchen show.
No.
Who knows?
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're not right.
I'm pretty sure you're thinking of an M&E artist we had on the show.
I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm also not saying I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong though, because even he was like,
I'm not saying that you're wrong in saying that.
But yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about, anyone that hasn't listened for fucking 15 years, our first official move from when we left some shitty ass company that we used to work under.
I know what he's talking about.
We did a show. We had Scum scheduled. It was the first time we ever had him on. We were not allowed in our studio. The shitty company we
literally showed up for the show and the guy was like, didn't show up. We got locked out of the studio.
That's when we had the cum flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we did it. We rushed over to Dead Body Man's house. We set up. It's the first time we ever did a show on YouTube ever.
Yeah.
Ever. We never did anything on YouTube. We set it up on a fucking sound bar so we could interview Scum, so the volume from the sound bar would go to the fucking phone on the YouTube, and did the show that way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm off screen interviewing him so I'm close so the phone can pick up the sound bar and he can hear me. And if you guys ever heard of Scum or heard him talk, his voice is, deep and Russian. And try to fucking pick that up on a sound bar in a kitchen.
It was terrible.
It was so
it's something
bad.
because not only was his voice so deep and like raspy, that like it was also like I believe we had a bad phone connection. So it was like double negative right there, and it was like, son of a bitch. Like, we could barely make it out in real time, and then let alone being on the show. But we still made the show happen. I mean, it was a good interview. We had a good time. Yeah,
it's funny. It's not even on, like, if you listen on audio or Spotify or anything, it's not on anything.
No.
It's the only place to find it is on YouTube, and it's not even fucking named properly.
I don't even know if you can go back far enough on YouTube.
I found it today. I looked it up.
See, here's the thing: is that
but it's not even called. But I knew what to search for.
You could search for it, but like when it comes to like looking up old stuff, if it's not in a playlist, not in a playlist, if you have to just click on videos and scroll through, you can only go back 300-400 videos, and we have well over that on our fucking channel. And so like it doesn't go back as far, it sucks. When you found it, you should have put it in the playlist.
It was called like Real Underground or something, like Replicon and Real Underground.
Yeah,
because that's all it was.
So stupid. And then, I don't know why, but that made me think about the second time we got locked out. But at least the second time we got locked out wasn't malicious. It was the guy wasn't home, and we did a YouTube show before our show, sitting on somebody's stoop in front of the door. Now you remember we were in
I remember that.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was like our first like decent like live viewership. Like there was a decent amount of people watching us while we did that. And we did like almost the whole show on the stoop.
Crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
We went through some motherfucking shit over here.
I remember because I had the fucking monopod there and I had to hold it. I was like, son of a bitch.
Fucking nuts. We got a motherfucker. We have a history now. It's crazy.
We've literally
we do have a lot of history.
Right?
We put in a lot of grind and like figuring out shit.
Oh fuck! I just remembered what he said. He thought we were mad at him, and apparently there was a video of me talking saying he was unprofessional for not making a video about his Replicon Radio Award. And I was like, I could promise you I was never mad at you for that. I was like, if I mentioned anything about not getting videos, especially that was like the first awards,
yeah,
where like everybody needs to do it. I was like, I may have said something like that, but there was no. If somebody was sharing a video, that was someone maliciously cutting something from our show and trying to start some sort of problem. I guarantee you that.
Was this like a recent share?
No.
Oh, it was back.
This is like the first Replicon Awards.
Fuck, dude.
And I was like, bro, we fucking
for how many
Waffle House? I drunkenly ran into you at Rock of Ages. Like
we've kicked it like since then. But I get it, But hey, not to throw shade, but bro, be a little bit more professional.
What a dick. Don't do that.
No, man, I love you, Damien, man. For real. Like, you're the homie, and I have no animosity towards you. But when it comes to doing the job, do it.
He's dope.
Yeah, you're dope, dude. I'm just giving you shit.
Cult shit all day.
I'm giving you shit, not cult shit, because that's a positive thing. But yeah, I'm just fucking with you. But I mean, that may have happened.
I love you.
That it was said, but
That's what I sound like. I can't deny I didn't say something, but it wasn't like I don't like you.
But here's the thing. From our perspective, like we're doing this thing. We're giving it an award show. We put in a lot of work. We do. From our perspective of it, I don't know how other people view it.
Who's gonna win event of the year?
Especially the fucking COVID.
COVID is not the event. We're gonna give an award.
Yeah. COVID and Replicon Radio. Just that's it. Just two blatant statements. But as far as that goes, like from our perspective, we put in a lot of work, and it's like, hey, we do this. Hey, just all we want you to do is put in a video. Like acceptance speech, because like you're dope and all that stuff. We want to get that content from you and like put it out, because we know that people want to see it, because you won, you got voted, and the people would love to see it. So like we get excited on the thought of like, okay, an artist gets voted in by the people, by the fans, by their fans, and we have this idea that like, hey, make a video for them, the people that voted for you. We'd love to see that. And then when the artists that win don't even make a post or address it or make a video or do any of that stuff, not even being malicious, we just like, we're trying to be professional about it, even though we're the most professional unprofessionals that there is. If we sleight of hand comment like, it'd be nice to be a little bit more professional. Like, hey, you got voted by your fans, and we had a lot of votes for you to make this video. Or you could make this video, and it's like, hey, and you didn't. Not that it makes you a bad person, or
maybe it was you that said it, because you were just going on and on about it.
Just talking. No. I mean, we're on a talk show. I'm talking, making, but we're not mad about it. I was just maybe, explaining it. That's probably why we said it.
Yeah, that's what they may have mentioned something.
Yeah, and
I don't recall doing it, but I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Right. So, I mean, if you're listening now, no, it's not. There's no animosity there at all. It's just that
we'll give you the hugs, and you do the drugs,
and you drink all the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, shit. I literally drank that shit.
I tried to, but it didn't come to me.
What was that? That was it.
Or did I?
Shit, I don't even know which time. A couple times.
I
drink the Kool-Aid at Attack of the Ninjas pre-show.
It was in New Haven.
That we hosted by Replicon Radio.
Oh, yeah. And they took our fucking microphones. Not going to let that one go. But, there we go. So.
Yeah. Hell yeah. You guys ready to take a quick break?
Sure.
Quick break-a-rakey?
Absolutely.
Breaky-wakey? Are you guys ready for a break? I'm sure you're sick of hearing us talk for a minute.
I don't think so. They tune in to hear us talk. We are in a talk show.
Maybe. They might not. Maybe they tune in to hear other people talk.
I think it's hilarious how like we're on a talk show and then like we get on a topic for too long. But which I get it. You don't want to drone on a topic. But at the same time, like
you guys are on YouTube, the music's everything's gonna stop. The music's gonna be over at repliconradio.com. You guys want to listen to the music?
Who the fuck gave him?
He stops and starts
to stop us from talking anyway.
This one, to stop it to get the interviewee on the phone. That's a thing. We're just scheduled. We need to make that happen. However, sometimes you be a momentum killer, and like we'll be like in a conversation.
That's
like
what I'm talking about.
Great,
right now, yeah,
great topic, and you'd be like, "What are we even talking about?" And we're like, "Bro, like we've been talking."
We sleeping?
Yeah, like
yes.
You know how long?
That's because he can't sit there and just shut up.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know how long Rue, like when we have a conversation or you are interviewing and all that stuff, you know how long Rue or myself will be quiet when there's good conversation going on that we have nothing to add to, but yet it doesn't, it'll actually take away from the show to interject. We do that all the time.
Fuck yeah.
And you do it for a decent amount of time, but I think your time limit's about 15 or 20 minutes. And then I give him that. It's like
I give him 15.
I give him 15 or 20 minutes. And then like he realizes after he's done all the stuff he needs to do on his phone and he runs out of stuff to do and he realizes, wait a minute, I haven't said anything on the air for a while. And he goes, wait a minute, you guys are still talking about that? What the fuck? Nobody wants to hear about that. Let's talk about other things.
Right?
Yeah.
We have Skeletor on the show tonight.
Talk about a momentum killer.
I'm calling him Skeletor.
Killator.
Talk about a momentum Killator.
Fuck yeah. We'll be back after the break.
Yeah.
Yeah, what up, y'all? We're back. Hope you guys enjoyed the musical break there. For everybody out there in YouTube land, we are back up on the YouTube. YouTube's up and running, so make sure you share it out, tell your friends, let everybody know, because we're back. We're bringing the motherfucking heat tonight. Heat. We got our very special guest live on the line. We just heard the damn cat barking or something. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Don't ruin it.
Give it up for motherfucking Killator.
You almost got it.
You almost did give me. What's up, man?
Go fly. Go
All
fly.
right, what's going on, guys?
Hello.
We're just hanging out, man. Hanging out.
Chilling.
I almost called you
Yeah,
fucking Skeletor because of Big Roo.
What a fucking dick.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's obviously where the name comes from. So,
Yeah.
see, you know, if you want to get into that, we can get into that, because I'm a big Skeletor fan when I was a kid. And,
Hell yeah.
well, short version, I said, you know, if Skeletor rapped, what would he rap about? And I was like, well, gold. You got to have gold teeth. You got to be killing people. So he can't be Skeletor. You got to be Killator. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he really missed the mark on that one, calling himself Skeletor.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I'll be killing people, man.
Well, you know, that's the other thing about Skeletor. He never killed anybody in any episode of Masters of the Universe. He never killed nobody.
He's like the Manson of the killing world. That he just had.
Oh yeah, calling the shots.
Even though they all suck, and they never really killed anybody that I know of. They all suck, but they tried.
We got real quick. Lunchbox wanted to say hi to everybody out there listening.
Okay.
Lunchbox, meow.
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 Yeah.
I think he's broken right now. I don't know what that's about. Something's wrong with him.
I think you pressed the wrong button, sir.
How is that a cat?
Did you not hear the Meow Mix song in that?
How is that a cat?
He said, bark, bark, meow, meow. There
That's
it is.
fucking insane. That's crazy.
Maybe we'll hear from
man.
him later in the show.
Lunchbox is gangster, though.
Yeah.
You know, Lunchbox is also a shot caller.
Oh, yeah?
Like Skeletor.
That's right.
He's got his own merch line and everything.
He walks around with his own gold
Yeah.
chain.
He's got action figures, T-shirts, posters, stickers, fucking.
It's way more than the fuck I got.
He's had a lot. That's what's funny about that. You know, he's a cat, and he's had more merchandise than a lot of people who don't seem to appreciate him. So we'll just put it like that, nicely.
Rude.
Well, we appreciate it. Any cat that barks like a dog should be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't even know Lunchbox did that till just now.
I know it's a pretty hefty bark for a cat.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting fat nowadays. He's a family cat now. So he's not touring anymore. You know.
So sad. You know. COVID.
Steven pointed out here. Oh, sorry. Someone in the comments pointed out that Lunchbox has an album too.
Oh, okay.
Which is true. Yeah.
Nice.
That's amazing.
He probably sounds a little different. His balls have dropped, and now he borks instead of meows.
It's all his. He's very heavy into vaporwave, like experimental vaporwave type music. So, you know, I gave him a laptop, said just have at it. And then he gave me an album back. I said, all right, well, whatever this shit is, let's sell it.
Oh, we do what we do. You know, we put out.
That's right.
I bet it charted too. People love that shit.
Probably did.
Yeah, it's at the very, very bottom of the charts.
All I say is that we better have a Lunchbox track on that playlist that we're getting ready to play.
Oh shit! I don't think there's anything with Lunchbox on there.
Oh, it's not. Okay, his album's out there. It's probably not. It's probably not on Spotify. So there we go.
It's on. It's not on Spotify.
Please don't say so.
Due to copyright reasons. It is on. It's on. What's it called? SoundCloud, I believe. But goddamn it, I have the hardest time locating that fucking.
Yeah, we
I
do
have the
too.
hardest
That's
time
why we
finding
don't
that
use it.
Everybody tune in next Monday and we'll have. But no, that's awesome.
One of these days you're gonna have to interview Lunchbox. Just what I'll do is I'll put him in a box with the phone, and he'll probably meow to get out.
Yeah,
You know?
there you go.
There you go.
There's your
Ask
interview.
him fucking questions. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm down.
All you gotta do, you just gotta put him in the crate and then just start shining a laser pointer in there, and we'll just listen to him go crazy.
We'll do that.
Well, it's just gonna be it's gonna be 2 hours of this.
It's gonna be our best episode ever.
It would be the highest charge.
We can. I think. I don't want to. I don't want to downgrade Lunchbox's interview or anything because I think it'll be amazing. But we're supposed to schedule an interview with Stir Crazy's bandana.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could do those on the same episode, maybe. And it would just be.
I got something I want to say about that. You know, Stir Crazy's bandana, really cool, but he's kind of changed lately. You know, he used to be the coolest bandana I'd ever met, but nowadays he kind of acts like he don't know me. Not Stir, just his bandana, to clarify.
I get it.
Well, bandanas have gotten a lot more popular in the last couple months.
They really blew up, man. They blew up. Like, and you know, when people blow up like that, they, you know, I don't know you. It's like Riff Raff said. It's like, my main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know none of you no more.
I love Riff Raff.
Oh.
Good dude.
He's still doing shit.
He's not a good rapper. He's not a good rapper, but I love listening to his rap anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's times where I listen to him, I go, man, what? He's bending. He's like air bending. He's word bending. But I love it. It's not good, but it's great.
I like watching him on the socials.
It's like Danny K.
I like watching him on the socials. Like, I just discovered that he has a TikTok, and yeah.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I that's the only reason why I knew he came out with an album recently. I'm like, well, okay, I guess, but I'm not gonna listen to it, but I'll watch your TikTok.
No, I've seen a few from his TikTok that people have pulled and I guess put on Facebook or whatever. I mean, he'd be spouting off like inspirational quotes or just doing some like silly ass shit. He's an entertainer to the core, and we're very lucky to have him because before him, we had the selection was limited on like people thinking out of the box as far as rapping. For me, for my generation, our riff raff, or what I considered my riff raff, was Cool Keith. And then after Cool Keith, you get like Lil B, and then you got Riff Raff. So I mean, you got this whole line. There's plenty more people than what I'm saying here, of course.
Right.
But
I feel like
for
Cool
people
Keith
who are
was
just
way
out the
more
box, thinking
serious.
different, doing some other shit, yeah.
I feel like way more. Cool Keith was like a serious artist, though, right?
Like, he was like trying.
I mean, I guess Riff Raff is serious in his own mind, right?
No, he's only serious about making money.
Yeah, right. No, well, Keith, it was like constant personas and change-ups. Same with like MF Doom, but he was a lot more serious than Keith. Keith would say whatever. Then you got Raph, and dude, Riff, like, dude got bars. But there's times where I'm like, the fuck are you thinking? Why'd you say that? But I still like him.
I don't
still
know.
like his music.
I don't know why you're talking about this because it's not comparable. But as far as like joke rappers back in the day, like what was his name, John LeJone or whatever.
LeJone, yeah. Show me your genitals.
Yeah, show me your genitals. Show me your genitals. Dude had bars, but it's like, why are you talking about this? Like the first
I gotta tell you
viral
that,
rapper.
I mean, honestly, you guys need to play that song during one of the breaks because that's a fucking sick song.
Oh yeah.
What's the other one? Guns Don't Shoot People.
Yeah.
I shoot people.
I like
guns.
that. I'm not your average, everyday, normal guy, or I am your average,
Yeah, that one's
everyday,
alright, too.
normal guy.
I'm more of the first three viral hit songs of his, and then after that, I like to pretend he doesn't exist.
Well, I mean, he doesn't. You know, I mean, he had that first album, and that was it. I think the album was an EP essentially. That was it.
Oh, it's a classic though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is a classic.
It's still going strong today.
It's fucking amazing.
Show me your genitals. Your genitalia.
I don't even know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Oh, you don't know that?
No.
It's fucking hilarious.
I missed it.
Yeah,
You
man,
should
play that during the
literally
break.
on the break. You should watch the video of "Show Me Your Genitals," and you will literally be looking at the screen like, "What is happening?"
I will.
Yeah, and in today's PC world, no way that would ever fly, ever.
Oh yeah, no, that shit don't fly now.
Because even back then, it was such a satire of like talking about how men talked about women, and it was such a satire, like, yeah, know your place and show me your genitals. You know, oh god, we'll talk about it on break.
I'm pumped, man.
Oh yeah, I think you'll like him.
I'm excited to see him.
Is he playing? Is he playing it in the background?
Yeah, I was playing it real quick. I mean, once that song gets brought up by default, I have to go and play it, even if it's for like 2 seconds.
I heard 2 bass hits of the beat. And I was like, "Is that it? That's it."
I mean, you can't bring up that song and then not expect me to feel like I should listen to that one. And I think it's "I Kill People."
Yeah,
that's a classic too.
Oh man, what? Fuck. What is that? I don't give a chainsaw. It's like, I don't give a fuck, and then he like changes it to I don't give a chainsaw. Like he's talking about he like gives the least amount of fucks possible. Like he's like I give so much least amount of fucks, which means I do give a fuck. Wait, what? Yeah, dude, it's fucking hilarious. He's like I could change.
He's posing with a toy Tommy gun and a fucking stuffed tiger while wearing like a red and blue Malibu looking shirt, some backwards cap.
He's always up against a graffiti wall.
Fucking fly as he can.
Yeah, and his shorts go up to his navel.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, when you got fucking swagger like that, you got to show it off.
That dude, he was ahead of his time by about 20 years. He was behind that time by about 10 years, and he was ahead of the next time by about 20 years. Yeah, because it's coming back. It's coming back now. Like that's fashionable now. All the things that he was wearing to be a joke, now it's fashionable. But I think he's like
now it's ironically hip.
It's ironically hip, but I think he's like selling hammers at a hardware store or some shit. I don't know what he's doing now, but he's not making dope bars.
I don't know. He's got 43 million views on this fucking song. I mean,
yeah, but I think that was before they really monetized shit. I don't know if he like really made money off of that, because we're talking the early ages of YouTube. This is like early 2000s.
Oh, so I'm looking at his YouTube page, and it's the most recent video says, "I'm selling hammers at a hardware store." That's all I do now. That's the title.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yes, I'm kidding you. God damn it. Obviously, I'm joking.
Jesus.
We were getting ready to book a trip to that hardware.
Yeah. I know. I was getting you all revved up for it. I'm sorry.
I was just happy.
I'm a guest here, and
I just get excited when
I should be a little more considerate.
I get excited when I'm randomly accurate. Like, holy shit, I nailed it. Holy fuck.
Oh god.
I think we should get out with this interview. Like, start it. We should probably start it.
No, we're good. I think we're good.
Yeah, at some point, can we start the interview? Is the break going to end?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to hit you.
I want people to hear this.
We're going to hit you with a music break real quick.
We're just going on a fucking break. Fuck, holy shit.
We're going to hit you with a Canadian rapper from the early 2000s just real quick.
Yeah.
What's his name?
John Lejeune.
No.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah! Show me your genitals.
I got to turn it up for this.
It's a new Hot 100.
No. Okay.
It's all right. I'll let you do your thing, P. I'll stop talking.
All right, everybody, give it up for Killator.
Yeah! Golf clap.
Yeah!
Golf clap.
Hell yeah. Okay, so we'll try to get to this.
I'll shut up.
So obviously we learned about all the things that have inspired you. How? I guess let's just start there. So obviously you're a fan of all this incredible music. What was it that made you and your brother and several other folks come together and start? Like, how did Corpse Circus and Killator come into fruition?
How did it all just come together? How did it all congeal and become a thing?
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, shit, we got time, right? So
we got all the time.
It's not going to take that long. But what it comes down to is, I've been rapping for a minute. And I think the last album I did where I took myself super serious, or tried to take myself super serious, was about 2004. And that shit, I maybe sold like 20 copies. And that's being nice. It did not do well. And so it was about 2004. I said, fuck this. I'm done with rapping. I'm done with all this music shit. I made like 4 or 5 albums at this point, and it just was not working. And so jump forward to like, I think it was 2006. I'm hanging out with Rim, and we're just bullshitting over like, what is it called? It was oh god, I wish we could get Rim on the line right now. It was Super Duck Breaks or some shit like that. It was like old break beats. So we just started like bullshitting, rapping to each other, telling jokes, just whatever we could to make the other one laugh. And one particular session, you know, Grim had recorded it, and we were listening back to it, and I'm like, yeah, we should be doing something like this. Like, this is funny. We should be doing something like this. This would sell. Like, people would like this. And so we decided to form a band on spot. We, by the way, before being Corpse Circus, we were a whole another group. And that one, we're like, this is bullshit.
It was you and Grim?
But yeah, so me and Grim, initially, before being Corpse Circus, because we've also, after starting Corpse Circus, we became a few other groups, like Manson Brothers and, oh God, what was the other ones? The Dirty Sluts. We started a bunch of different groups, and it was all about with the intent of being one-off albums. Corpse Circus was intended to be a one-off thing. We didn't think it was going to be like a thing that kept going. It was all just like one-off jokes. Like, yeah, okay, here we go. Let's do this. Move on to the next project. So the first one we started was TMNTK, which was it stood for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Killers. So and that was a completely blatant ripoff on like a group that had inspired us. The group that inspired us was G.I. Joe Killers, and we love this group. I think they were Canadian. Speaking of Canadian rappers, and G.I. Joe Killers, man, they basically rapped from the perspective of Cobra. And so I found a lot of appeal to that. I was like, this is fucking stupid. This is hilarious. The beats are actually kind of decent, you know, for 2000 and whatever. Yeah. But what it came down to was like, yeah, let's do something like that. So we completely and blatantly ripped off what they were doing as far as G.I. Joe Killers. We're like, yeah, let's be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Killers. Like, let's do that. I'll be Krang, you be Shredder. Like, let's fucking do this. I did one song using the Krang voice. I could do a Krang voice. I'm not doing the Krang voice. It fucking hurts. I did one song with his voice, and I'm like, this is bullshit.
He knew.
And fucking read my mind.
Like, he fucking knew it was coming.
I could do a lot of voices, by the way.
Okay. Sweet. All right.
He heard us talking about how we needed more voice actors. And he's like, that's me, motherfucker.
I do voice acting.
I didn't actually hear it, but I wanted to throw that out there. I can do a lot of voices, and it's
So do you classify yourself as an impersonator?
What's that?
Do you classify yourself as a good impersonator?
No, I mean I'll do a bootleg impression of things, but
okay, all right.
You know,
he's just a well-rounded entertainer.
If I hear a voice enough, I could kind of pick up on the inflections and the way that they talk. But the thing is, I have my limits on what kind of voices I could do.
I think
so. I was able to do this Krang voice for like a whole song, and that shit just put me in a spot where I'm like, this shit is fucking obnoxious. This shit hurts even doing. Let's move on. Well, we didn't know what to do for the next group.
God, I love that.
We didn't know what to name the next group for that matter.
Is that available?
What's that?
Is that track available?
No. You know, that's funny that you say that because I've told Grim a number of times. I'm like, dude, we got to get that song and some of the instrumentals from that time pressed on the CD and just sell like a small batch of them. Because we had like cover art and shit, and it's not good.
Yeah, but with everything going on, you could recreate that. You can get like features from Bebop and Rocksteady and shit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We're
gonna get you toidles.
Yes.
But what it comes down to is like,
dope. I would totally
it wasn't popping, it wasn't working. So we're like, let's move on to the next thing. And the next thing we were like, well, we didn't even have any ideas as far as what to name the group, what the group should be like. But we knew we wanted to be in character because we weren't taking rap too serious at the time. Like in early 2000s. This was 2006, so I guess mid 2000s, as you said. But it was still a big thing for rappers to have grills and chains and being flashy again, like they used to do in the 80s as well. But they were doing it again, like in a big way, like with Paul Wall and Mike Jones and all them. You know what I mean? And Nelly, everybody had fucking something flashy. We're like, well, we want to do that flashy thing, but we want to make fun of you. And we ended up just putting a bunch of words in a hat. And somehow, like the words we pulled out, we got circus and we got corpse, and we're like, "Yo, circus corpse!" Like, that's cool, but it sounds like one person. Oh, okay, switch it around, corpse circus. All right. So if that's us, like if we're corpse circus, what are we gonna look like? And originally, Grim was gonna be based on Mumra from Thundercats.
It's so weird. I was just talking about that.
Oh, dude. So fucking, he was gonna be like Mumra from Thundercat, but then we found out later, after the fact, sometime later, I found out there is a rapper who uses that persona, so I'm glad we didn't go there, because Mumra is a cool cat.
Yeah.
And last thing I'd want is anybody like, yo, you ripped me off. I'm like, no, we ripped off the same thing you ripped off. But shouts out to Mumra if you does. But anyways, fucking, with that said, a huge fan of, but at the time I was like really getting into MF Doom.
Cutting out there.
I'm like, yo, man, like the only thing that's missing is fucking Killator. Like, why ain't there no representation of Killator out here rapping? I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna be Killator. And then with Grim, because I chose the Killator persona, I think went with like, you know, he's gonna be the Grim Reaper, but the Grim Rapper. And I'm sure that's been done too. I'm sure, and I think actually Skeletor, we found that there was a rapping Skeletor, but his name was Skeletor. We had a rap beef. I killed him, and I got acquitted on that case. So it was a good time.
That's good.
Yeah, but anyhow, moving forward, at the time.
So
what's that?
Well, hold on before you get too far into it. Like, so when you first started, like, you weren't like, was there ever a time when you were like, I want to be a rapper? Like, you were like you said in the beginning you kind of took yourself serious, but it just wasn't very fun. Was that when
Corpse Circus, when the whole Corpse Circus thing became a thing, like when that became where we were doing this, or I should say when we started doing this, it was still in my head that it was like, this was just a one-off project. This was just going to be a joke. Like, this is going to be something we're going to be doing like consistently. This is just going to be what it is, and we're going to move on to the next thing. And I don't know why, and it's probably because I listen to like Pooh Keith a lot, who also in like MF Doom, shedding their personas, moving on to the next thing. I think that's where I got that in my head, where it's okay. You don't have to worry about doing one set thing all the time. Just keep doing something. Something will hit and do something else, and maybe something else will hit and just keep moving. So at no point did I ever think, oh, this Killator thing is going to take off and we're going to get fans, and this Corpse Circus is going to be anything to anybody. I figured it was going to be some obscure thing that maybe one person will remember, you know, like 20 years later, like, oh, remember Corpse Circus? And then his friend's like, nah. He's like, yeah, well, I got one CD. It was just supposed to be a way to kill time. It was just a pastime.
I gotcha.
You know, and I'll tell you if you want to know how that changed, but
yeah.
So how that changed? Pretty simply. Remember a thing back on old computers that you could access via the internet called MySpace?
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Tom.
MySpace is what changed that.
You were in so many people's top 8.
Well, see, yeah, it wasn't even just, it was more of people were sharing our music on their profile, and that alone is the best, you know, form of advertisement you could have got back in the old Wild West of the internet. And social media is what made this thing a thing, like what made it solidify and continue to be carried on. And you know, what are we at now? What year is this? 2020?
Yeah.
I'm not asking because I'm a time traveler, by the way. I'm asking because I'm having a little bit of beer. But
well, good luck, fucker, because we're lying to you.
It's not 2020. We got to go back, Marty.
Yeah.
But anyways,
good luck finding out where you are.
What it comes down to is thanks to MySpace and clickbait, because I would do all these clickbait ass titles. And I ain't too fucking proud for that shit. I put like, Lady Gaga has a penis. Click, click here. And people would go to the bulletin and then it'd be my music.
So disappointing.
But the thing was, there was so many, everybody was rapping at the time. It's just like nowadays. Everybody was a rapper. It's like that, what is that album? Deltron 3030, where everybody's a fucking rapper in the future. I'm like, yo, we're living this shit now. Like, everybody's fucking rapping. So we had to find ways to stand out. So, we put a little clickbait out there and wear masks and just look as ridiculous as possible. At the time, too, I was going to school for like Adobe products like Photoshop and After Effects and Illustrator. I was taking all these classes, and so I just happened to be able to hone in my sensibility for album art and cover art and put things together nicely to where we look like we have more money than we had. At the time we didn't have shit.
That's still the name of the game.
And Yeah, homie, fake it till you make it. That's one of my professors for psychology 101 was like, yo, fake it till you make it. All this like super cheesy motivational shit. And I'm like, this is fucking garbage. But I was like, but it's good garbage. I'm listening. Let me hear it. And one of the things she said, I ended up turning it into a song. She said, like, reach for the stars, because even if you fall short, you'll still be on top of the world. Then I took that and flipped it to reach for the stars because you'll never be one. But
oh god,
it's more of my whole
that went from
an
inspirational saying to like no.
Yeah, to a fuck you.
Yeah,
be motivational.
Right.
But I mean, I flipped it into a song, but still, I took something she said. I'm like, I got to take this. I got to turn it inside out. I got to make it something else. But what it came down to is all my experiences that were going on for me. Now, I can't speak for, what Grim was going through, but for me at this time, I was like, I'm gathering all this information and all these experiences. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And this is how we're going to put this together, how we're going to present ourselves. I was like, we gotta fucking like put some effort into our presentation. So I made sure like we'd get photo shoots lined up. And I had a buddy of mine that I was working with at the time, Jesse Alford, and really cool dude. He would take pictures of me and Grim. He'd bring girls along for us to like pose or to be choked by us or something stupid. And it just all kind of fell into place as far as that stuff went, as far as just getting everything together to make things look right, to make people give a fuck, to make people pay attention. And then on top of that, the music, I think, showed that we were having fun. I think that it also the chemistry, me and Grim, man, we could joke all day, and like we could even just be having a regular ass conversation, and that shit probably sounds funny to anybody else, because we'll go off on these tangents when we're bullshitting with each other. Where like I'll say something and he'll just shoot it down, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then we just run into something that could basically sound like a skit. It just naturally, the comedy between me and him is just fucking hilarious, and it's just always been natural. Never had to force it. Never had to make him. I think the only thing I've ever had to force Grim to do was rap.
Honestly, that chemistry really translates well as far as like an in-person interaction with your fan base. Like if it won't necessarily translate on the tracks because you have your own structure and you have your own build for your music and all that stuff, but when you're in person doing like concerts and shit like that, if you have really good chemistry with the person that you're doing it with, or your DJ, or anybody that you're interacting with, like in
it'll
personal it really resonates 1,000% more than like an artist that thinks they're too good for whoever they're working with or whoever they're associated with, because you can tell with those artists that are obviously the one that's in the spotlight, and you have their hype man, and if they they're nice to their hype man, but you can obviously tell that they don't have a good like a on par level chemistry.
Repertoire.
You can definitely fucking tell that. I mean, at least me on the fan side, that like I think that's really cool when I see that with an artist that like, wow, those guys, like their whole crew is just cutting it up. They're having a great time, and you just get a way better vibe from that. So I mean, I think that resonates way better as far as.
But you got to remember this too. On this level of things, when because by no means can I ever say Corpse Circus is like blown up or fucking done anything super large. Do we have a strong following? Yes. Do people constantly buy stuff from us? Fuck yeah. How? I don't know. My point is, at this level, it's still allowed to be fun. It gets a little rougher the bigger the audience. You know what I'm saying?
I completely
so when you got these people who are labeled up, and I'm talking about like major labels, like super big labels, right? You motherfuckers, it's all business, and you gotta let it be what it is. As far as that type of stuff goes, it's right now it just don't fucking matter. It just does not matter. So we're allowed to have that fun. I think that's a part of why people are supporting it, because of the fact that it shows. I think it shows through, and also, we don't take ourselves too serious.
For sure. No, absolutely. And like you mentioned, you were super big on the promoting thing back in the day. I remember, I didn't know who the fuck Corpse Circus was, but I remember seeing it all the fucking time. I thought it was a made up. I 100% thought it was a make believe band that people just sold merch for.
Yeah, it basically was. If you want to get down to the core of it. So okay, our first album, which now is just Corpse Circus, it's just a self-titled album. But the first album was originally called Corpse Circus Greatest Hits. The joke was it was going to be like a group that never fucking existed that somehow had a Greatest Hits album, and we had I think 20 different album covers, which all became albums later on. But at the time, we're going to be like, yeah, Greatest Hits from these albums, and it was all this. Excuse me, all these made up fucking projects that did not exist.
Isn't that like Spinal Tap? Like what Spinal Tap was? Yeah, like Spinal Tap.
See, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I need to watch Spinal Tap sometime.
I watched it.
I always hear jokes about like the 11 joke or some shit like that. I know there's a lot of fucking. I have a feeling that a lot of the stuff they're saying and doing in that movie or mockumentary would probably speak volumes to me. 11 volumes.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's I think it was like a record label, one of these guys to get together and make a superstar band and all that shit, and they just kind of. There's a mockumentary and all that stuff. The whole turn it up to 11 is that your amplifiers only go up to 10.
Only goes to 10.
Yeah, it only goes up to 10.
Yeah, I got that part,
turn it up to 11, you know. We're going to break the knob off.
And then people really enjoyed it.
And it was actually wound up being great. It was kind of like how the Monkees were. Like, they were a fake band.
Didn't they become a band after this movie?
Yeah.
Because that's what I believe. I remember hearing something to the extent of they started out as a mockumentary or movie or whatever you want to call it, and then it became an actual band that went on to actually play like real shows.
Yeah, the band from the movie that we were just talking about, they did Spinal Tap. They did it.
What movie was that? I'm quizzing you, pop quiz, motherfucker. What movie were we just talking about?
Well, I just
the bus is about to explode if you don't answer correctly.
Okay,
I think I'm quoting that movie wrong, but yeah, it was Spinal Tap.
But yeah,
I don't know, but that was a good Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, oh god, fucking King Koopa. Yes. King Koopa, you guys seen that Super Mario Brothers movie?
You know what? I fucking love that. I love that movie.
I purchased it because we talked about it.
I love the live action Super Mario.
I love that movie
Brothers.
too.
Fuck yeah!
I get so much unnecessary.
You know which one I just
hate.
saw? What's that?
The fucking live action Super Mario Brothers. They get so much unnecessary hate. I love that movie.
That movie
so cheesy.
That movie was dope.
And
but now get this. Now we're talking about video game movies. Check this out. Since we're on this topic, but video game movies. One that I had not seen until like maybe 2 months ago was Double Dragon. And I swear to God, dude, I wish I had seen this movie as a kid. This movie is fucking nuts. Fucking Double Dragon, the live action movie.
I can't speak on it because I was not a huge.
It had like a famous guy.
I was not a Double Dragon fan. I'm saying like there's a reason why I never seen it when I was a kid. You need to watch this fucking movie. It's fucking. It is ridiculous.
To be honest, Double Dragon, I believe, was a little bit before my time, and so I was not a fan of the game.
But Super Mario Brothers.
I didn't know the game.
Super Mario Brothers.
It's timeless, though. That's timeless. I mean, like.
No, I know.
We're talking apples to oranges here. You know, you can't go.
Oranges all the way. Oranges.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of question is that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Have you had a Fuji apple? It's fucking delicious.
Yes, I have. Have you had a? Oh God, we're gonna talk fruit.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if
apples. If you have it. Yeah, what?
Well, I don't know if we're gonna compare apple to oranges. I love a good orange, but a Fuji apple is fucking delicious.
So I used to work for a grocery store for like 17 years. Fucking 10 years of that I spent working in the produce department. Man, I gotta tell you, I never ate that good in my life as far as like healthy, as far as fruits. Eating all the apples and bananas. I tell you right now, if you want to eat good and you want to eat good for fairly cheap, go get a job at a grocery store, work for the produce department, and just fucking graze all day. They'll let you. Just tell them you're sampling the products. I'm just sampling these Fuji apples. These galas are pretty good too. Hey, have you tried these pink ladies over here? You'd be like, man, they're fucking lit. But these motherfuckers, the old school cats, will be in there eating like fucking full avocados and shit. Fucking chowing down on all the expensive stuff that they don't want to buy. You know what I mean? Well, go get a job, work for the produce department, and eat good and be healthy. Have 5 a day.
Exactly. I mean, but nowadays, it's even easier. You don't even have to say you're sampling a product. You'd be like, whoa, no, I think I saw somebody sneezing on this, and it's COVID.
So you're gonna eat
Oh,
it?
not
Yeah,
me.
you
When I
can
go
eat it.
grocery shopping now, I just go in the store and I just put stuff in my pocket, and they go, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm stealing it. Leave me the fuck alone."
Hey, you know, honesty
You
is
just
the
gotta
best
tell 'em what's
policy.
up,
Honesty is the best policy, and I know that the law
Well,
respects
especially when you're rocking a yellow skeleton.
Well, also
mask.
here, let me hip you guys to the new policies of the world too. By the way, now you can fill up a grocery cart and just walk out of a grocery store. They can't stop you.
it. Oh shit! If you take your mask
now
off,
back
I
in the-
heard that. I heard that if you take your mask off, they won't stop you.
You don't know. It's got nothing to do with a mask. You fill a basket up with food, fill it up with whatever you want. You can just walk right the fuck out of there. The reason is they're not allowed to pursue anymore. So I don't mean to enable any criminals out there.
Okay, hold on. Wait a
But if
minute.
you decide to take up criminal activities, what?
You're saying this, but I did actually hear this, but it is a regional thing. I thought it was
regional?
I thought it was like a New York thing or like what? Like there were certain areas where
I'm
like,
from California, by the way.
Yeah, I thought it was certain areas where it's like, yeah, no, petty theft is no longer fucking fuck that. We don't give a shit. We're not going to pursue it. I did remember hearing about that. I think I don't
know if it counts as petty at this point because so we would have people who would fill up baskets with like infant milk. And now out in California, I don't know how it is. Where are you guys at anyway?
St. Louis,
St. Louis, Minneapolis,
Missouri. Is there a St. Louis in
Missouri?
Minneapolis?
I don't know. I'm just
Starts with
making
an M.
things up,
It's
dude.
close.
I've had beer. Listen.
Hey, no, it's fine. I was surprised. I was like, wait a minute, is there one? I was like, I want to research this. Like
Nah, I don't know.
maybe
Google it.
St. Louis,
But-
Missouri's been getting the wrong rep for fucking Minneapolis. I don't know.
No, that's not it.
Minnesota, whatever fucking state it is.
What it came down to, Minnesota. What it came down to was out in California. Now I'm in Texas now, so we're in the same time zone. But when I was out in Cali, and I don't know how it is out here in Texas, I ain't really been paying attention to this shit. But out there, it used to be we would chase people down when they stole from the store, and I did it not because I cared about the store. I didn't give a fuck about the store I worked for. It was a paycheck. But
It's just
the second someone stole a bottle of E&J or something, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna chase him down like a fucking rabid dog. I'm gonna hurt this person because I can legally knock this person over and fucking stab him with this broken E&J bottle.
It's not every day that you get to Goldberg spear somebody in a fucking parking lot in your minimum wage job.
I mean,
Legally.
that's the thing. So here was the beauty of it. At the time, the first 5-6 years, I wasn't making shit. So I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll chase down this dude who's 7 foot tall with a bottle of fucking some cheap ass shit. I'll chase him down, even though he kicked my ass. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Let's get him. But then later on, policy started changing, and I started making a lot more money. And for working grocery, you'd think there's not a lot of money in there. But I got grandfathered into like old school shit. Like I ended up making more money than I should. So once I started making the good money, I started being like smarter about not losing my job. I was like, I want to keep this money. This shit's easy.
Yeah.
But as far as, stopping people back then, you could, and then they change it now. It's a liability. You can't stop people now because if something were to happen to them or something were to happen to you, the store or the company, the corporation becomes liable, meaning that you could sue them for fucking, hospital fees and all that type of shit, legal fees.
And nowadays, the company knows how much they pay their employees, so they're like, well, if they sue this employee, we know we don't pay them enough to make that fucking thing, so they're going to come after us.
Yeah, so they did everything they could to make sure they're safe.
Right.
But anyways.
They want to fuck over everybody equally. Even the people that steal from them, they want to fuck them over too.
Yeah.
I see a comment over here on your how do you pronounce that? Spreaker? Spreaking the Deutsch?
It's Spreaker.
Yes.
Spreaker.
It's speaker
it says,
with
hey,
an
Killy
or.
from Steve Sodergren. Steve, I don't know how to say your last name, so I'm going to say Sodergren. It says, Killy, can you talk about your Garbage Truck Kids inspired artwork and cards? Do you still collect them? Your GPK inspired stuff is what introduced me to Corp Circus, and I've been a fan ever since.
First of all, shout out to you
nice
being in the chat, by the way. I love that you are watching.
Oh, I'm all up
chat.
in there.
So anybody that is listening, he is watching you. Fucking put your shit in the chat. I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I gotta give Andrew a shout out as well. Andrew B on our YouTube gave us a $2 super chat. Here's $2 that Killator will never get.
Absolutely.
Hey, give me that money. I want that money. That's why I'm here. Is for that $2.
Hey, that's $1. That's $1.98 that we won't get either.
That's true. It's about 37 cents we might get. Though.
Oh shit!
Something maybe,
Shit!
something maybe.
Why not? But
Maybe.
yeah, go ahead. Please answer the Spreaker chat.
Yes.
To answer your the question about your garbage pail kids.
Oh, answer the question.
Yes,
Sorry, I
if you
was
want.
checking my emails. I got a fucking email from the President Trump. I was writing him back. It says "fuck you." Anyways,
yes.
So Steve asked about garbage pail kids, and what inspired me. I don't fucking know. I can't read too good right now. So what he's asking basically is like, I guess, or he's telling me that he got into Corp Circus because of Garbage Pail Kids stuff and because of the fact that we use some Garbage Pail Kids themed artwork. So my first Killator solo album, excuse me, I'm a little gassy there. The first album,
yeasty, the yeasty boy.
What?
Over there. You're yeasty. Drinking all that beer.
yeah, well, I'm drinking, you like beer, right?
I like beer, yeah.
Oh, that's not the answer I was looking for.
Yeah, I like beer.
Godsense will tell you. You guys, Godsense, he'll tell you. I don't like people who say, "Hey, yeah, I like beer." You love it. Tell me you love it. I'm just kidding. The shit's called Le Fin de Monde. It's a 9% alcohol by the volume. It's a 24-ounce bottle. It's nice. It's a good slow sipper.
Oh, that's a heavy beer. That's a heavy beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. If you go back 3 years ago when I was like really depressed and an alcoholic, I could fucking drink about 3 or 4 of these in one evening.
Yeah.
Be super sloppy. Wake up the next morning, have the shits, and then get right back to it.
Well, you gotta get the evil out of you, Ricky Bobby.
Well, yeah. You can't keep it in better out than in. That's what Shrek always says.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So getting back to the Garbage Pail Kids thing. Yeah. First off, Steve, that's really awesome that you got into Corp Circus because of Garbage Pail Kids, because that's an honor. I love Garbage Pail Kids. Now, it's funny that he brings up Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage Pail Kids is what taught me how to hustle. It's what taught me how to make money. Now you're thinking to yourself, how does that teach you to make money? Even though you're not really thinking that, but I'm pretending you are so that I can say the next part.
How does that teach you to make money?
Oh, well, you don't ask. I thought you'd never say. So anyways,
That movie's pretty dope too.
that's
by
a
the
beer.
way.
That's a beer that switched it all up.
Yeah.
But what it came down to is back in the day, I think around Garbage Pail Kids Series 3, I found out about it in the schoolyard. And this is the first moment in school where I remember all the kids were amazed by something. And they were just like gathered around building the swing set. And I'm like, what are all these kids looking at? I'm like, fuck, because you know how when you're a kid, you see a bunch of other kids gathered around something. You're like, I want in. What is it? A dead body? Money? What is it?
Every time I was
wanted
like,
in.
ooh, there's a fight. I grew up in a rough area.
That's what I'm going to tell you right now. 3rd grade, 4th grade, especially back in those days, like fights were fucking lit. But
honestly, I was
always
usually
gathered
the one.
to the gathering.
I was usually the one fighting. So I didn't.
I mean, I'd be the one cheering and chanting. I'd be like rhyming your name with something like really obscene. You know, I'd be like, you fucking whatever your
you
name rhymes
spleen
with, you know?
peen.
Yeah. So, fucking, these kids are gathered around the swing set, and they're looking at some cards, and I'm like, what is this shit? I gotta see what this is. And I look, and it's like a girl with snot coming out of her nose, and a boy puking, and like all these terrible, disgusting things. And like, that shit is fucking awesome. When you're like, I don't know how old I was back then, probably like 8, 7, 8, somewhere. I was young, but I remember thinking like, this shit is fucking crazy. Like, whoa. And I remember all the kids like, yo, my parents won't let me have this. And like other kids like, well, how'd you get your parents to buy them? And he's like, I just asked. And like the kids were like, what? Because back then there was this like big banning issue around Garbage Pail Kids.
But yeah,
and it's in the Bay Area of California.
Yeah, the parents, like, they were like offended by everything, and they were like, no, you can't have this. This is disgusting.
I still have, like, from number 1 all the way to the last series. I still have all that shit, and I look at them sometimes and I go, I can see why they were banned. There's, you know, the cigarette,
fucked up and super offensive. Super, like,
they got, well, here, let's look at it like this. They got people smoking cigarettes, they got people fucking smoking weed, they got people drinking booze. That's just those things. I think there's suicide references.
Yeah, I think they have a cutter. I think they have one that's a cutter. And then they have one that has a eating disorder that's a bulimic one.
Yeah.
It's all fucked up.
So with all this stuff, I mean, it was pretty fucked up. But the thing is, this was, you know, this is back in the day, and
yeah, all that shit was
me as a kid, I'm
fuck
like-
it. Yeah, you want to cut yourself
I'm like,
out?
yo,
You'll be
I'm like-
all right.
well, to me, I don't think it was quite that drastic yet, but I remember seeing these cards and going, man, like, first off, just on an artistic merit, I was like, this shit is incredible. I'd never seen anything like this before, like, just art-wise. And then you want to get down to the gross level. I'm like, I relate to this because, you know, I'm a kid. I'm like, yo, I pick my nose. I fart.
I'm
like,
a
I've
picker,
vomited before.
motherfucker.
I hung myself and died 3 weeks ago. I'm now a ghost. You know, I related to all of these different cards. And I just remember thinking something about it spoke to me. And I'm sure a lot of people felt that way because it was so different and so unique. Now, how did that teach me to make money? You know, I didn't have money. I was a kid. Kids don't have money. You don't just inherently have money unless you're fucking rich. Rich I was not. I was living in a fucking duplex in the Bay Area of California. We were not rich. And because of living in this duplex and living in a very poor neighborhood, I would go around and I would be like, yo, and this is back in the day, okay, so it's different now. You can't do this now. Back then, I'd go around and be like, hey, is there anything you need done around here? Like sweep a floor or fucking take your trash cans to the curb or some shit for $0.25. And, you know, everybody out there be like, yeah, here you go. Pick up these leaves. I'll give you $1. I'm like, cool. So I would be collecting money like that. I would just be like doing odd jobs, like picking up a quarter here or $1 there. Then I'd go to my mom like, yo, hey, Mom, I need to go to the comic shop. And because this is the Bay Area, California, that's a big area. It's a big city type environment. So she'd drive me way the fuck across town and I would go buy some cards. And I still got all the cards that I had when I was a kid. Not all of them, not all the duplicates, of course, but the full set. And that shit taught me, you know, to like work for something. And I still have that set. I wouldn't sell that set for nothing. It's like a trophy to me, or something that I accomplished as a kid on how to work for something. And it's interesting to me because, what's that?
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie, that I thought you were gonna go the other way with it. As far as teaching you the money, is that like, oh shit, like, all right, these parents won't buy these for these kids,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna do these odd jobs
now,
to
hold
make
on.
this money.
Hold on, because there's more to it, but it's not just Garbage Pail Kids. But now, as far as what parents wouldn't buy them that I was able to buy and then sell to them, that would come around 5th or 6th grade. And by the time, because we moved from Bay Area to the Valley, so it's like Stanislaus. And once I got out there, it was a very different environment. It was very middle of nowhere feeling. There wasn't a whole lot going on, and oh man, it was a depressing fucking time. Going from like a culture that loved art and music and all these things, and there was just so much to see and do, going to the Valley, and it's just dead and fucking shit kicker country and fucking nothing good going on. Well, get into like 5th, 6th grade, and I see these kids are like, one particular kid, I don't remember his name, but he's selling lemon heads to my classmates. I'm like, yo, he just sold a fucking like 5-cent lemon head for 25 cents. Like, I'm like, the math in my head is just exploding. I'm like, what is this? Like, dude, I could buy so many lemon heads right now and fucking just multiply my money. And, you know, I wasn't like a math genius or nothing, but I knew that it would equal money. So what I would do is I would go over to this place. I forget the name of the car wash off top. I'd have to Google it to find out the actual. I think it was Quick Clean or some shit like that. I'd go in there, I'd buy like $1 or $2 worth of fucking lemon heads, and then I'd flip them. They were like 5 cents each. I'd flip them for 25 cents. Because once you're on a school premise, there's no candy being sold. This is, again, back in the day when candy was not being sold on school grounds. By the time I got into high school, you could buy candy at school. But
I made stacks off
but at
Bubblicious
elementary
in middle
level-
school, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Stacks.
What's that?
I
Well-
made stacks off of Bubblicious in middle school.
Hell, when I got in middle school, they
I'm saying, man,
ice
fucking,
cream
there was
machines.
money in candy. It was like the predecessor to selling drugs, is what it was. Because by the time I got into high school, once candy was a thing that people could buy, then I had two choices. What could I sell? There was a few choices, but I was like, what could I sell? Because then I just kept selling things or finding ways to make money. And coming from a lower middle class, I wasn't like, lower class or nothing, but I was lower middle. I was like, we had a decent enough house. I wouldn't say nice, but it was decent enough. And we had clothes, wasn't the best. And what we always had most interestingly was we always had a fucking ton of movies. We had like 10,000 movies like growing up. We had a house full of fucking VHS, and that was because of my mother. Where she bought out an old VHS rental place, and then ended up working for Blockbuster as one of her jobs. She had like 4 or 5 jobs at one point, and she'd buy movies from there all the time, or come home with the screener tapes, which are like early releases. But anyways, skipping back, you know, then in high school it comes around. I'm like, yeah, I gotta do something to make money. So I would do like 5 and 10 sacks of weed. This is back when I was still fucking smoking weed and shit like that. Now it's beer. It's all beer for me now. But then I was like, yeah, I gotta sell these sacks. And then also, and it was petty hustling. It was never anything big. It was never no large score. It was always like little petty hustling. And what was the other thing I would sell? Oh, copies of like albums. So like say, I think Snoop Dogg dropped an album, Doggy Style, a year or two before I got into high school, and that was a popular one. I would just fucking put that on the tape and sling that shit for like $5, and it was cheaper than going and buying it brand new for 10 or 12 or whatever the fucking prices were back then. Or Dre's album, or fucking Nine Inch Nails, or Nirvana. What's that?
Just dubbed copies that you made?
Yeah, well, that's actually how. So I would just dub tapes all the time, and that actually led to my first rap name, which was Tapes. And it's not the best rap name, but it was the name that everybody was calling me from freshman year on. It was like, yo, Tapes, because I was selling tapes. I was selling tapes and weed. And then I stopped selling the weed because all my friends were getting busted for selling weed. And I was like, yo, if I keep doing this shit, I'm going to end up like that motherfucker over there and that motherfucker over there. And like, we got pinched a couple times to where they would like search our lockers and search our bodies and search our fucking backpacks trying to find weed on us. And a few of us got took out. A few of us ended up going to a continuation schools, or just getting kicked out of the system altogether for a couple of instances. And me personally, I didn't see that as being a productive thing for my future. So I was like, all right, I'll just keep it at the bootlegging these albums thing. So even before I was rapping and stuff, I already had my foot in the door as far as selling like a bootleg tape, selling like music to some extent. So it wasn't something that was new to me. I didn't actually start really... I started recording in high school, but I didn't make my first album until like a year out. It was also a lot more difficult back in those days to record an album. It wasn't like now where you can just get a computer. We didn't have computers back then. You just get a computer, get a DAW, get some programs to make your fucking beats and shit, and, fucking mic up and you're good to go. Back then, like, I was using a 4-track or a fucking 8-track. Not an 8-track like the 70s shit, but like a multi-track recorder. Yeah. I think the biggest one I ended up having was like I had a 32-track once. And that fucking thing was a beast. It was huge, but it was also fucking time-consuming to use and to mix everything. And it used mini discs. I don't know if you remember those, but it used mini discs.
Yeah, those were around for a couple weeks.
Yeah, so fucking mini discs.
It's better than a reel-to-reel, though, for sure. Because those shits were.
Oh, it was. But it was also expensive. I remember that big one that I got. Not the first one, because the first ones I got, my father was a musician, so like he let me borrow his 4-tracks and shit, and then I'd break them because I'm like real heavy-handed and fucking I was a kid. You know how kids are; they just break shit. They don't mean to.
Yeah.
So I broke a few 4-tracks, and then eventually I was like, I hit my pops up. I'm like, dude, I need to get this 32-track. I don't know why I felt the need to get it. I'm like, yo, but it's like $3,000. Can you front me a little bit of money? And he's like, well, I can front you like $1,000. I'm like, all right, I'll save up the rest from this job I got. He fronted me like 1,000 out of $3,000. I ended up paying him back pretty quick after, but this thing cost me like $3,000, And back then, like $3,000 right now for one piece of equipment is no joke. You know what I'm saying? Like right now. Like if you told me I have to spend $3,000 on something, I'm gonna tell you like this: do I really need it? Because if I really need it, I'll get it. But do I really need it? But back then, I felt like I really needed that shit, so I fucking got it, and I used it for a bit, and I made a few albums on it, and then I ended up fucking selling that fucking thing for like $600 later. Hella fucking bad, feeling off of that. Buyer's remorse, seller's remorse.
Right.
But anyways, I'm over here mumbling and rapping.
You're good, man. It's all good.
Replicon Radio has posted. What was that?
That's what you're here for.
Yeah, I know. I ran out of beer though, so now I'm starting to kind of get a little.
Oh shit! All right.
I'm having buyer's remorse. I'm having beer's remorse.
Well, if you need us to stall for you so you can run to the other room and grab a beer, then we can.
I don't have any beer in the house. I'd actually have to drive out about 2 minutes and then 2 minutes back.
Well, we've historically talked to people in the car. We've talked to them while they're in the elevator. We've talked to them while they're in stores. We've talked to people while they're doing things. Yes. As long as you're mobile,
but we don't normally tell people and suggest to do it. But
but
he's also drinking too.
I'm drinking too, so I'm along for this beer run. I'm like, hey, we will be there with you.
I'm good. If this was the last place I was living in California, I'd be like, yeah, I'll just walk over to this fucking liquor store, because I lived in a neighborhood that had like 2 liquor stores literally not even a block away. And in that instance, I'd be like, fine. But right now, I'd have to hop into a car, and I think it'd be the wisest choice to let this beer kind of mellow and the alcohol to dissipate in my bloodstream before I do that.
Well, there you go.
That's being as adult as I can.
Well,
that's all right. That's a perfect segue back into the story of Corpse Circus. So
okay, yeah. What do we want to know?
So you put out the greatest hits. It was all just.
Well, yeah. So what was going to be the greatest hits became self-titled.
Yeah.
We put that out. We put it on MySpace. God damn, I rambled. We put it on MySpace. I think so. At the time, the first album that I printed for Corpse Circus was actually Killator Mixtape Volume 1. I think I printed like 25 or 50 of those. I don't fucking remember. Somewhere in that neighborhood. And I'm sorry, I'm reading a comment here, and that's a good comment. We'll get back to that. It's from Brad Holland. But anyways, so the first one I put out was Killator Mixtape, which was me just kind of bullshitting over beats and I think remixing stuff from the Corpse Circus, what would have been greatest hits, but ended up becoming self-titled. And I think I sold, goddamn, I want to say it was 25. I don't think it was 50. That's kind of high. At the time, I was like, yeah, I just got to sell 25 of these. And the point of selling those CDs was to get up the money to print covers for the actual Corpse Circus album, which we did. We ended up printing like I think 4 panel covers, so it's a little booklet that opens one time, which, you know, not the most baller thing in the world, but when it's your first album as a group, it's like that's a nice little something extra to have. So I drummed up the money from that, and then the other thing that helped me get some money was selling pre-sales for T-shirts for the fake label that we created to sell our albums on, which was Brain Damage Records. And I ended up selling, I think, like 30 or 35 of those T-shirts. Got like 50 printed, sold the rest. But I mean, early on, T-shirts was a big thing. Like, it was always, like, looking back now, T-shirts was always a big theme. So we print that first album for Corpse Circuits. Finally, we got the money to make the covers. We make these covers, and I must have made like 20 different versions of the cover, and I finally got one that looks decent. And we put it up on MySpace, and I think it took us about a month or just under to sell about 100 copies. And I was like, this is like pretty good. I was like, this is a good sign. I'm telling Grim, like, yo, we just sold 100 fucking CDs. Like, we should probably make another album. Even though this is going to be a one-off thing, I'm like, we should probably do more.
Right.
And so we ended up making, like, it was called, what was it called? Remixed and Retarded, which, you know, it's not the most PC title for an album, but at the same time,
it's still funny. I saw that on your Spotify earlier. I was looking it up, and I was like, that's a funny title.
I mean, here's the thing. You got to look at it like this, too. And again, this is coming from me and Grim, and we don't come from a time where retarded was a word you couldn't use. And when we say the word retarded, and this is not defending it, because I'm sure people could use this for defending other words. So I don't want to make any misconceptions on what I'm saying here. But when we were using that word, we weren't using it in a way to make fun of people who were, you know, mentally handicapped. I don't know how else
mentally
to put it.
challenged.
We were just using it to be like, yo, it was just our way of saying.
I absolutely
It's just our way of saying
understand
that.
it. It just sucks that
Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
in today's world, like we got to defend every little thing that we did, like, and like
That's what it comes down to. Well, but here's what's funny about that. There's been this thing where, like, more recently, people are putting out music that is from, like, back in the days, and they're changing the lyrics, and they're, like, censoring certain parts out. And it's funny to me, because our first album, we, like, censored out shit when we first put it out, because we always were, like, real big on no religion, no, like, overly sexualizing women, no politics. Like, there was certain stuff we just didn't touch. We just didn't go to, because we were like, let's make this timeless. Like, that was the idea.
yeah.
Now, cut back to the re-release of the self-titled album, and I ended up, like, putting every song that was made from that time, from that year. I was like, I'm just putting everything on here. And I'm also adding shit that we cut. And one of the things that I cut was, like, a verse about, or I'm sorry, a hook about, I think the line was, quote, like, it ain't rape if you don't say stop, but with that gag in your mouth, how you gonna talk? Like, obviously satire, obviously not being serious. And there was no intended actual, like, promotion of, like, go out there and fucking get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just making jokes and making jokes that rhymed. So it's funny to me to think that people are now going back and editing shit. And at the time, when we re-released that album and remastered it, we ended up putting on shit that I think is more offensive. But at the same time, we understood that our audience understood us. Like, you get it's satire. You get we're not condoning these things. We're not fucking promoting bad shit. We're not telling you to go out and be, you know, like, I mean, go out and fucking rob a grocery store. I don't give a fuck. But
I can only
my point
imagine,
is, like,
I can only imagine how the like some of the artists that were in the early generation of the horrorcore genre, like some of the things, like some of the artists that were out and like some of the things that they rapped about, it was a shock factor. So like they were talking about,
but see,
all that.
That's
shit.
the thing. How are you gonna go into a genre and intentionally be shocking, and then go back and say, I'm gonna change these lyrics, or I'm gonna censor this, or like that's defeating the point. If you didn't give a fuck then and you give a fuck now, what's the difference? What, you were 20 years old then and now you're 30? Shut the fuck up. My point is this: if you said it, you fucking said it. Tough fucking titty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've said some stupid shit in my life. But fucking let the cards where they lay. Like, let them lay where they fall, I should say. Let the cards be where they are. Like, if you fucking said some shit, you said it. Now, does that mean you're still saying it to this day? No. But, like, fucking telling me that today you're gonna put some shit out like, yo, fucking, I didn't mean that, and defending it and all this shit. Because even with us, like, we didn't mean it then, but I shouldn't have to fucking defend it. But that's the environment we're in now. And it's not to be like, oh, well, that's some sellout shit, or fucking, god damn, what's the other example here? I got something else I want to talk about. But what it comes down to is, like, fucking, you said it then, you're not saying it now, and people understand that. I could watch a comedy from the 70s, like Blazing Saddles, and laugh at it for what it is. Does that mean that I think that those people believe the jokes that they were making then now? Like, do I think they would still make that material today? No. You seen Blazing Saddles?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mel Brooks?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've only watched it once, and
No.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of that movie, but everybody tells me it's fucking hilarious. And I watched it one time because everybody kept saying it's fucking great. But to me, it wasn't that it was hilarious. I was like, wow, this is like kind of offensive. So I was like, you know what? It doesn't really offend me as a person. I could just see this offending other people. And I was like, if that's all we're dealing with, it's just shock. So, but what I'm getting at is this, though. People find comedy in shock, and people also find entertainment in shock. So if you're doing shock value stuff, don't fucking backpedal on that shit. You know, change your fucking act today, but don't change your past. Don't change your history. Don't rewrite that shit to reflect today's views, because if you do that, it's going to get to a point where everything you're making now is not going to exist.
That's one of the biggest things that I've had. Like, I watch a lot of YouTubers and all that stuff that had to backpedal or whatever. They got caught up in this quote unquote cancel culture and all that stuff. And
yeah.
And just listening to them sit here and talk about like the videos that they had made in their career, that they not only if it had to account for once or twice, but now they're getting accounted for again for even blatant racism and all that stuff. Not like super Southern Dixie, like hardcore racism, but like blackface and all that stuff. And not that I agree with it or anything like that, but I understand what you're to touch base on what you're saying about backpedaling. That like, how many times are you going to be like, oh, I took this time to reflect on what I did, and I realized that it wasn't right of me. And it's like, okay, but you did it. And I understand that I'm a man of action, not like your words don't mean anything to me. I've had yeah. Exactly. I have a personal.
If you're out here for 10 years dressing up in blackface and fucking being very racist about shit, then those are actions you're taking in. You see what I'm saying?
Well, what?
I guess what I'm getting at is this: it's one thing to make a joke. Look, from my environment where I come from, California, it's a melting pot, and we have people taking jabs at you all the time. I'm white. Okay, for those listening who don't know my race, I'm white. With that said, people take shots at me for my skin color. And what would we do in turn? Because these are my friends. Like, we would all be different colors, different race, different ethnicities, different whatever the fuck you want to call it. We'd all come from a different background, and we'd all bag on each other for what we were. It's not because we fucking hated each other. It's not because I hated someone for not looking like me. It's because what we were doing is we were just making light of the situation. And it's also a way to bond with each other. We'd just be like fucking razzing on each other. And these motherfuckers would be like, yo, Justin's so white, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was that type of shit. But none of these people did I ever think that if it came down to it would fucking let me die. You know what I'm saying? Like, over some racism. I don't ever think that's what it came down to. It was, we came from an environment where it was very mixed in background. And instead of fucking ignoring that issue, we all approached it head on. We didn't let no fucking elephant in the room about it, and we'd make fun of where each other came from. We'd make fun of where we came from as well. And nowadays, it's like, you can't even do that. You do that, if the shit we were doing to make each other feel more comfortable and have fun and get a laugh, were being done now, it'd be considered fucking, not so much racist, but it would be fucking unacceptable.
Yeah, definitely would be. And giving your friends shit is like frowned upon, essentially.
And
that's, I'm saying, bro, that's all we do. Like, if you listen and just go on the corpse circus, but me and Grim, that's all we do is give each other shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we've ever been about, is giving each other shit. And I come up from a surrounding of, if you like somebody, you give them a hard time.
Yeah.
The reason you give people a hard time is you weed out the fucking weak individuals. Weed out the fucking pussies. And I know that there's going to come a day where calling someone a pussy is fucking going to be frowned upon. That day is probably already today.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's some people that don't like it. But
I completely resonate with that. You know, cause me growing up, I grew up in an urban ghetto. I grew up in Ferguson, Missouri. Like, there was 20 black people for one of me. And like, it was like, I had to really develop a tough, like, sense of like humor and like a defense mechanism of giving everybody shit, because everybody would
and also taking your shit. That's the other thing, it's not just giving shit, it's also you got to take that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I would have 20 people sit there and tell me, like, this white crack, this fat motherfucker, because I was fat, little fat short fucker, and they'd be sitting there talking this shit on me, and I'd be like, oh, this stupid motherfucker over here, and blah blah blah, whatnot and whatnot.
Well, the point of it, I think what it needs to boil down to is this: if we cross paths, if we talk, if I know you in any manner and we get along, if I'm not giving you shit, then that means I ain't fucking cool with you. What it comes down to is, like, the people who I got a problem with, I don't talk to them. I try not to talk about them. If it gets brought up, I'll be like, all right, cool, let's switch the topic.
Bro, I fucking felt that.
But what it comes down to is
what you just said. I fucking felt that.
I'm saying, though, like, fucking what it comes down to is like, if I don't fuck with you, I ain't gonna fucking. If I don't fuck with you, I won't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't give you a hard time. So that's what it comes down to. And nowadays, everybody wants to fucking be on some foo-foo shit where it's like fucking, you gotta respect this and you gotta respect that. And it's like, you know what? Whatever happened is just, I don't know, freedom of speech. Whatever happened is fucking be able to just speak your mind and making jokes. Whatever happened is just fucking, you know, satire and jokes and comedy and humor.
Because
whatever happened to that shit? Because now everything is so fucking serious.
Absolutely.
So
Because we did respect it. You're giving shit to people.
And on a serious note, Brad Holland here is asking, what about the theory that Killy and Grimm are the same person? And that is actually a theory. I'm gonna throw this out there right now. The theory is that people think me and Grimm are one and the same. We are not. But
that'd be
I
weird
think the
if you were
more
just
I
giving yourself
contest
shit all day.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. That sounds.
That'd be weird if you were just sitting around giving yourself shit all day.
That sounds like a legitimate thing.
Well, see, but we're not the same person. And I think the more that I say we're not the same person, the more people go, well, then maybe you are.
I don't know. It's like that one movie where the guy had multiple personalities and like everyone was fighting with each other.
Fight Club?
No. The other one, they're more recent.
I don't know.
That was like the photographer or whatever.
Fight Club 2?
I just saw a comment come in from Gibby Stites. So I just want to say what up to Gibby. I'm sure you guys. I think you guys have talked to Gibby before, right?
Is Gibby the guy that was on iCarly? Yeah, he was the bad guy in iCarly.
Gibby Stites, man, fucking the rapper.
Yes. Shit. Tony's just drunk.
Here's the thing: I don't get the iCarly joke. I've never seen iCarly.
I haven't either.
I've never seen it.
I'll tell you what, it's a good show.
I don't think we talked about that when we.
But yeah, Gibby's a cool cat. I want to give a couple shots out real quick. I want to say what up to Gibby. I want to say what up to Stir Crazy, of course. And to Godsend. Shout out to Graham, Mr. 8 Legs, fucking who else? Drankenstein, everybody. I don't know.
That's you.
Is there anybody I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing people. Checkmate.
You gave me a
what
shout
up,
out.
Checkmate? There's like people I need to fucking. There's not very many. Donut. I should have wrote this shit down. By the way, anybody listening right now, if you go over to corpcircus.com and use the code Replicon, that's REP Lacon. However you spell that shit, that's the that's the code. Replicon, REPLICON. You know how to spell.
You know what it is.
There.
Sweet.
You know what it is. It's the 20th. It's 2020, and today's the 20th. So you're gonna get 20% off on CDs right now if you use that code Replicon. Because I'm going fucking all the way out with this shit. 20% off, and these CDs are already cheap. The price to sell as it is, I think like $11 or something like that. So you go over to fucking corpcircus.com, throw some CDs in your cart, and then type in Replicon for the coupon.
There you go.
And you'll get 20% off.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shout out to everybody that still gives their friends shit, by the way. Keep doing it.
Keep on keeping it.
So let's jump back into this. So when you first started and you guys were doing your thing, and you decided you wanted to, we're gonna do this. When did I guess technically the group, if you look it up online, it's you, Grim, 8 Legs, and Jesse Stir Crazy on production. Was he wasn't involved when you guys first started, was he?
Who, Stir?
Yeah.
No, Stir wasn't there from the jump, but neither was 8.
Yeah.
It was just me and Grim from the beginning. But the thing is, me and Grim also played like 2 or 3 characters each. I think I was DJ Headless and also Sid's, aka Crib Death, the rapping dead baby. And Sid sounded like this, like, yo, give me titty mouth. Like that's how Sid sounded. And then Grim was Grim, and then he was also Suicide Smut, who at the end of every one of his verses, he would commit suicide, like he'd blow his brains out or something. And so that's what Corp Circus was originally. We've gone through about 20 members. Let's just put that out there. 20 or 30. I don't know. I got a whole list of all the fucking members. But there was a ton of people. We had Trigger Mortis. We had Abracadaver. We had Rotbot. We had who else did we have? Deadweight. He was a security guard. He was like 600 pound, fucking 7 foot tall security guard. That was a real motherfucker that I worked with. He was gigantic. And he was a man-child. He had like a man-child mind. He was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? You want me to come and like stand around and wear a mask?" That's how he talked. It was fucking, it's crazy. And I'm not joking. He was in the group for one photo session, and then I said, he's out. And they were like, why? I was like, did you hear the hydraulics in my car? Like, he sat down, and then they went, why? I was like, yeah, that ain't right. Like, fucking, we all get in the car, and this motherfucker gets in, and this thing is scraping. Like, that's how fucking heavy and big he was. And I'm not knocking him for his size. He was a huge motherfucker, like he was supposed to be. But my argument was this. Like, how are we supposed to drive him 2 hours out back to the Bay Area to do shows, and his big ass fucking in that car scraping the whole way? Like, I couldn't do that. You know, and he wasn't able to drive himself because he was not, like, mentally capable to drive himself out there. He was all about it, though. Really good dude. Really fucking good dude, but really big.
It happens.
But we've had a ton of characters. We've had what's that?
Getting really big. So it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, right? Well, yeah, that's me right now. I'm at my biggest probably. I mean, I fluctuate. I think for me personally, because when I started Corp Circus, I was a skinny motherfucker. I was skinny because I was paying my way through college and fucking I had no money for food. Now, you know, I'm living at, I got a nice house that I'm at. It's a 2-story. We got food. We got fucking drink. We got all kinds of things. Man, I just built a new computer. I'm doing all right. I'm fat now.
That's good. That's good,
I'm fucking fat now.
Stay fat.
But I'm also not running around a grocery store anymore. You know what I mean? And that probably kind of kept me a little slender for a while.
You're not eating healthy.
Running around all day for 40 hours. But yeah, with the Corp Circus, it was initially me and Grim. Then we brought in a few other members. And then jump forward a few years, and you got me and Stir Crazy. And I forget what the initial, like, what made us link up. But for some reason, Stir hit me up, and he was like, yo, he's like, I ain't shit, you ain't shit. And I was like, well, let's not be shit together. Not really. He was like, yo, man, you want to do some beats? You want to get on some of these beats I got? I was like, yeah, what do you got? And somehow we just kind of, we were speaking the same language, me and Stir. Like, we both know different places to print shit and get, like, merch items made. And he shot me a beat, and it was Alcohol on My Skull is what it became. And fucking, like Gibby Stites over here coming, he says, 2-story house and food, that's the dream. That's what I got. Just built a new computer. It's fucking, and I got a nice little recording area. It's good. Everything's good right now. It's not great. No, it's great. But it's not a mansion. That's the next one. I want a McMansion. I want one of those terrible looking mansions that don't look nice. They're not appealing to your eye, but they're very roomy and big, but everything just looks hodgepodge. I want one of those.
Fuck yeah.
But anyways, Stir Crazy hits me up. We end up getting some songs going. I think around that time, it was just me and some other bandmates, and I think Grim had stepped out for a little bit. And I think I ended up going solo for a while. I was like, well, Corp Circus ain't fucking happening right now, so I better just keep doing my thing. And because there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's so much history that we can go over to explain that. But we had a bandmate who was strung out on drugs, and it just really fucked everything up in the process. But
Drugs are bad.
Moving forward, Stir Crazy, he ends up introducing me to some kid, some young fella, some young whippersnapper by the name of Mr. Eight Legs. And I'm like, who is this guy? And he's like, this is Mr. Eight Legs. I think he was calling him something else. I forget. He had some name. And I'm like, he's wild. He's crazy. And he was like, well, yeah, but you guys should, like, collaborate art-wise. And I'm like, all right. I'm not, like, opposed to that. I'm like, let me see what he does. And I saw some of his drawings. I was like, wow. Yeah, I know he draws really good. I was like, you know what, though? He needs to get into digital art. Because all this shit is, like, I think it was color pencil. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't that it was bad work. It was really good work. It just looked a little rough because of the color pencil. And that's not a put down, because it can still outdraw my ass. So let's be careful with that, guys. But what it came down to, I was like, yo, man, I was like, me and him ended up getting cool. And I think he told me later on down the line, he's like, you know, when I first, like, found out about you, he's like, I thought you were such an asshole. I thought you were such a fucking, like, hard person to talk to. And I'm like, why? And he's like, well, because your post on Facebook and your post here and, like, the stuff you say in the show. I'm like, dude, that's just persona. Like, you know that. And he's like, well, yeah, I know that now. And you know, over the time of me and him getting cool and working on collaborative projects, because I think at first it started out with us doing some stuff together. He was doing his thing, I was doing mine, but then we did stuff together, met in the middle, and then I don't know what the fuck happened, but one day all of a sudden he's just doing crazy fucking like shit I never fucking anticipated seeing so quickly out of him. He just fucking all of a sudden was running. He was just like, I'm running and shit. He just was doing this art that I could not believe. And then he didn't need me as far as like mentoring or anything like that. I think what it came down, let me backtrack because that might have came out kind of bad sounding. What I mean is, at this point, I'm mentoring, like, yo, you need to do this shit, you need to do that. And then he does it, and I'm like, holy shit, he's doing it. Look at this boy run. He's fucking running it.
Fuck yeah.
And, anyways, and then he's schooling it. Like, all of a sudden, I feel like he's schooling. Hold on. This is good. It's a good day. We're getting some sales over here at corpcircus.com.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, to me, it was the dopest thing ever. I've had a lot of people who I've tried to mentor as far as rappers or artists, people who I've tried to help. And I've never seen any of them take anything I say and fucking turn it into something better than what I had to offer. And A-Legs did that all the way. He went from fucking, oh, well, Killator said this to, well, Killator, you know, he said this, but now I want to turn it into something way fucking better. He just fucking ran with it, and now he's fucking schooling his art in a way that I could never have any claim to, or any fucking, that boy fucking, he's shining, he's doing his thing. So big props to 8. And as far as Stir Crazy, I mean, fucking big props, you know, big crop circles to him. big props to him.
If you build it,
big props to him, because he's out here. Well, you know, that's a side project for Corpse Circus, was the aliens. We're going to do the crop circles, and we're going to do the robot one, call it Corpse Circuits. But fucking, what it comes down to is, you know, Stir, I always believed in that cat. He was doing it before I met him, but he just kept doing it. Now he's fucking with MNE and doing stuff to them. So, I mean, props to him. They're all growing up so fast. It's crazy.
They're such good kids, man. We love those guys. Such good kids.
Yeah, they're good people. They're good, and more importantly, they're good to me.
Stir Crazy is just sanitizing the world, man. Sanitizing the world.
I gotta say, I had a really rough period with the whole depression and drink. My whole depression came from, I was depressed out of my skull, dude, and then I was drinking, and as you know, alcohol is a depressant. But I had a 3 or 4 year period that was not good, and it all came from just watching someone else doing really good, like so successful, that I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, how did this become this? And it was a cartoon. It was a television show. A friend of mine who I'd known forever, who I'd spent a good 6 or 7 years with, all of a sudden has this cartoon on Adult Swim, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this blowing up? And then I fucking let that shit eat at me. And let it just fucking chew at me. Let it fucking make me feel bad. Like, I felt like I was living in the shadow of this fucking cartoon. And, you know, not drinking every day helps put things in perspective. Like, I'm having a beer right now. That's fine. But 3 years of drinking beers back to back makes you go, well, maybe I should just fucking die. Maybe I'll never fucking be as good as that. Maybe I'll just keep putting everything off for a couple of days, and then a couple more days, and then I'll just put things off for a couple more years. And that's where I was going. I was just putting shit off. Snapped out of it.
And that's, you know? That's when that was around the time that you and Jesse started talking and things started getting.
Nah, this is. I think this was a little bit after. Everything was going good with me and Stir Crazy first hooked up, but what fucked me up was seeing a level of success that I will never fucking ever. Nobody listening to this, nobody ever fucking that I know in my life will ever live up to. I'm like, that's a level of success that none of us will fucking taste. And I think, to me, it was the most darkest, depressing thing I could consider. It was like, why is this even in my life? Why do I have to see this and know about it? And that's how I felt. It's like, yeah, I should probably stop talking about it. But
You're good, man.
It was a
I don't want you to go back. I don't want you to go back to that, but yeah, I mean, it's good to talk about. It's good to talk about.
Not going back to it, but it's more of. It took me a long time to realize how I felt about it. Like, I knew how I felt about it, but it took me a long time to, I guess, admit it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when everybody the show was Rick and Morty, by the way. So when motherfuckers talk about that show, or I go into a Target or a Walmart and I see stuff related to the show, every time for like years, I was like, what the fuck? Everywhere I go, there it is. I go on YouTube, there it is. I go on Hulu, there it is. Like, fucking couldn't get away from it. And so for me, it drove me into this, like, I can't achieve that. I can't be that. And that was the wrong way to think. But that's how I was thinking back then, because, like, nobody I know will fucking ever scratch that success. So for a while there, it made me feel real fucking low in myself. The energy was low. The level of understanding of who I am and what I'm capable of is low. You know, I fell into it. Now where I'm standing, I'm like, you know what? Although I might not reach that doesn't mean I won't reach my peak. I won't reach my spot. And that's where you got to start getting that understanding of self of, hey, although I can't be what this motherfucker did over here and that motherfucker did over there, you realize there's a lot of other people out there wishing that they could do what I've done.
Absolutely.
And that's the understanding. It took me like years of throwing everything away to fucking catch it. And finally I got back to where I should be. To where I go, I know of my power, of my blessings, my curses. I know of all these things that have been laid on me. And I understand there are people out there who are cursing me or upset about what I'm doing because they can never achieve that. So I guess the message in that whole rant was, it comes down to this. You might not ever reach the level of success that somebody else is fucking hitting and peaking at. But that's because yours is different. Your journey is different. Like, the things you're experiencing are also different. So you cannot have what somebody else has. You can only have what you're going to have and what you do have. And so for me, I'm like, hey, to tell me that I sold 150 shirts of my cat recently,
right,
in a matter of a weekend, like, that's not a failure. But you ask somebody else, they could tell you it is. You ask somebody else, they'll be like, man, I wish I could do that. It's all perspective.
Absolutely. 100%. So essentially what you're saying, so the success of someone, you said you were friends with one of the guys that created it?
Yeah, oh no. So I met someone in high school. We became friends, and we were real close for a good 5 or 6 years, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood after high school. It was Justin Roiland.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, he's doing it now.
Oh, yeah, you know, absolutely. So what?
But it took me a while to understand my place in the universe.
I could definitely see how, you know what I mean, like, especially if you're just in the wrong mindset, like. Wow, yeah, especially when it's someone you know.
And drinking every day don't help that shit.
Yeah, regardless if they're a good person or a bad person, you know, if you're thinking the wrong way, you're like, that dude don't deserve it, and I can never achieve. Like, how did?
Well, yeah, you see, that's the other thing. Everything begins in the mind.
Yeah,
you know this. Like, if you go out and say, man, like, say you like some girl. Let's just use a girl for an instance. Like, let's say you were into some chick and you were like, man, I like her, but if I go and ask her out, she's gonna like shoot me down. And that's your mind frame. Like, and then when she shoots you down because you're over there all slumped over looking like a piece of shit when you want to go, well, no, oh, I fucking knew it. Of course you fucking knew it. You went over there and presented yourself in the worst goddamn, possible way. And you also already had that in your mind.
Yeah, it already happened.
Now, if you go out there like, hey, I'm going to get this, and then you don't get it, you go, well, fuck it, I'll get the next one.
Yeah, you're lost.
And then you get it and you go, well, I fucking got it.
Yep.
And why'd you get it? Because you believed in yourself.
Absolutely, 100%. You definitely. So going through that depression of your own, especially with the success of a friend, kind of dragging you down,
it was a bad
lifting
time.
you up. So you got yourself out of it. So what are your thoughts on it now?
Looking back, I mean, I understand why I went through what I went through. It's because I was being selfish. I was being super selfish about everything.
So what is it?
Can I say that I came out a better person? Not necessarily, but it didn't come out worse. I definitely came out more experienced.
But is it more? I don't know if you ever looked at it this way or not. But Like, just you telling a story kind of makes me look at something like that, because a lot of people can't even be that close to something that's successful. So I'm like,
that's the other
damn,
thing.
if he did it, why the fuck can't I do it? Because that was just dude that I knew in high school.
Let me put it in a perspective for you. You know, me and him hanging out, and then one day, look at this. This is how close we were in our creativities. Because we were both, the reason we became friends is because I draw, because he was like, yo, like, you draw really good. You should come hang out sometime. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then that's how we just linked up and we started drawing shit for his like comic books and a couple other people. We'd all go out to his property. He had a big property. And what it comes down to is I look at it and I go, well, you know, a lot of people don't get to be that close to something like that, like you said. But let's backtrack this a little bit more. What are the similarities between what I'm doing and what he's doing? He fucking ripped off Back to the Future, and I'm over here ripping off Killator.
Yeah,
we weren't too far off on the way we approach things, and it wasn't just that. We're just riffing on things, popular icons that we liked as children, and you know, that's what he did. That's what I did. The difference is he went the right route. You know, he went with the cartoons, and it just worked out for him. For me, I took a harder route.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the right. It's a different route.
Well, we went two different routes.
You haven't reached the end of your destination yet, so we don't know if you chose.
Oh, I'm still not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But at the time, I'm looking at it. This is like 2015. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm like, this shit's blowing up so much. And if you go on our Instagram, Corp Circus, you can see postings of that show like 3-4 months before it's even out, because I'm at his mom's house watching it with him. Like, this is not just some bullshit story. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is documented. But what it comes down to is that's his journey. He's going some other different direction than I'm going. And even back then, even when I was drawing with him and helping him with stuff and drawing things for him, I was more interested in doing music, even though I love art. And art is fucking, you know, it's a great outlet. But at the same time, we were just two different people doing two different things with some common ground. And as is often the case, you know. But the problem that I had, and this is maybe, I don't know if it's, I can't even chalk it up to immaturity. I think it was just fucking selfishness, and that's where I'm coming from. I was very selfish. I was like, this is not fair to me. Why is he doing this? And I was like having all the wrong thoughts about it. Why does he get this? Why does he get that? Why am I not getting that? And instead of fucking working for mine for a minute there, because I was working for mine, but for a minute there, instead I said, fuck it, I'm going to lay down and die. I'm going to lay down and die, and I'm going to drink. And I'm going to drink, and I'm going to drink, and I'm going to just fucking hate everything. I'm going to hate myself. And that's how I was feeling. It was not like I really set out with this plan, but that's what it slowly became. And then finally, I was able to get woken up out of this. After damaging relationships and friendships, after breaking things around me, all the bridges that I burnt, I finally was like, hey, wait a minute. That's the wrong way to look at it. You know, what it really came down to is I had to go through those things. Did I lose a few fans in the process and supporters? Of course, I'm sure I did. Also, I don't think I gave a fuck at the time because I was so intoxicated. But looks like people are bailing out on listening.
You know what I'm saying?
Peace out. What's that?
I said, well, we're glad that you made your way out and you're
I'm out. And the good news is we got a new Corp Circus project coming out, and then also a solo Killator project. You got 8 doing his things. We got Dragonstein dropping some projects as well. And then yeah, I mean, it's not stopping. It's not stopping, not anytime soon.
That's what's up. Corp Circus returns, even though they never left. So let's talk horrible home videos. Horrible home video.
Yeah, what's up?
How that's you. That's like the art side of Killator, or is like how did the art world come about? Obviously you mentioned it a few times along the way, but
as far as doing that stuff, as far as doing horrible home video, where that stems from is originally 8 Legs and I had started a company called Candy Claw. Candy Claw only lasted maybe a year and a half. And in that time, we just all of us, and it's funny because you hear about like people blowing up overnight. For some reason, Candy Claw blew up overnight. We didn't ask for that shit. We didn't like expect that shit. You know what I'm saying? It just all of a sudden, everybody in the scene, it was the right time. It was like 2015. It was just the right time for that shit, and that's all it was. And between 8 Legs' amazing art and my amazing, like, I guess, design, because I'm good at certain things, and I'm aware of it. I'm good at, like, layouts. I'm good at mashups. You fucking give me some stuff to mash up, I'll find a way. And I'll make it stick. So between me and him, we had a lot of strengths. I was able to get out a lot of shipments quickly, and he was able to knock out the art quickly, and I was able to come up with ideas. And sometimes he'd come up with ideas too, and sometimes I would do the art. We didn't just do one thing and keep it that way. We would just kind of shift who was doing what. But what it came down to is in that little bit of time as Candy Claw, we were getting shouts out from like Fright Rags. We were getting shouts out from fucking Jimbo Phillips, or I'm sorry, did I say his last name wrong? I don't know. We were getting shouts out from fucking way bigger people than us. And it was like, yo, what is this shit? Like, why is this taking off? And like the first thing that really took off was the Ernest Goes to Camp Crystal Lake, which was my idea. And I think I did art for it, and then also 8 Legs did art for it, and then I did more art for it, and then he did more art for it. We just like a bunch of art for that one. And that shit popped. Like everybody just took to that, like, yo, this is the mashup we want right now. And we had others. We had like Muppet Master and fucking God, we had so many. So fucking many. I can't even go over all the various
just super dope hilarious mashups.
Well, yeah, but you know, and then we were real adamant about how we did it. It wasn't just like, hey, we got this one mashup, let's do this one design. It was like, let's do fucking like 5 or 6 designs for it and sell a fake VHS case filled with stickers and stuff. Like, we just went all out, and it really fucking popped off. Problem is, one of the pieces of art caught the attention of somebody who owned a property that it was mashing up and decided to turn this into a lawsuit. And we had Fox on our ass, and we had some other company. I don't even fucking remember the other one.
Who would have saw that?
The one that owned the Screaming.
Who would have saw that one coming?
What's that?
I said, who would have saw that one coming?
Yeah, what, Fox? Lawsuits? I know. Well, it wasn't Fox that got us shut down. It was, I don't even know the name of the company, but they owned the Screaming Hand. It was some fucking generic name. And so when I got the email, I was like, yeah, whatever, this is bullshit. And then I go to my P.O. box and I open it up and I'm like, hey, there's a cease and desist order in here. Like, what is this? Like, I've heard of these. Right. You know, I've been told to cease and desist numerous times, but I never got a physical copy. And sure enough, I'm being told to fucking, you know, stop and stop selling this item and this design and don't do this and don't do that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And in the process, they shut down our Instagram because they got us struck with different. So here's the thing about Instagram. If some company says, hey, you've infringed on our rights X amount of times, they'll just shut your fucking page down. They won't even fucking give you any chance to appeal it. They just shut it down. And I didn't know this. And I didn't know anybody who knew this because nobody I knew had gone through this. What's funny, though, is with Horrible Home Video, not a goddamn motherfucker said shit about shit. Like, nothing's getting shut down.
Just wait till Ernest P. World finds out, bro.
It's a shame. It's a shame that you weren't on here sooner because I have been through this. Not copyright infringement, but as far as like having to deal with the shutdowns and being locked up and all that stuff. I can tell you the ins and outs of the social media. It is not free speech. They will police what you have to say, and it's what they want you to say. And if you have any questions about that, I've been locked up more than anybody that you have ever talked to.
Oh, I'm at a point right now where, like, if you were to go over if I were to say the wrong thing on Facebook, I'm either going to lose my goddamn account or have another 30-day fucking stint of not being able to say shit. There's no freedom. There's no fucking, and if they want, they can cut you down for copyright. It is what it is. You just learn to operate within their rules and their guidelines.
I honestly deleted the Facebook and the Instagram app off of my phone last night. I was like, you know what? I don't need it anymore. It's like, yeah, I'm good. I didn't delete my account.
Not me.
Yeah. I didn't.
I need
post on
Facebook
there.
because I like getting memes about what's wrong with the world, and I like getting my news from memes.
I'm all about that. I'm one of them meme gods that people follow just because of what I post. Hey,
you refer to yourself as a god?
it's not. I didn't make the fucking title. But yeah, no, I totally understand that.
So what about Ernest? Ernest loves you.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? You know what? There's a new there's a new Ernest documentary coming out, and I got my fingers crossed that some of my artwork, or maybe some of 8 Legs' artwork, something ends up in there. Because even if it's 8's art, then by default that's like, well, that was my idea, so that's still me. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And so what it comes down to is hopefully something that we did for Candy Claw or Horrible Home Video ends up in this Ernest thing. And that's, to me, that's not unheard of. I'm at a point in my life now where
Your
Street
stuff's showing up
Trash.
in a lot of stuff now.
Well, there's a Street Trash Blu-ray with my artwork in it. There's a Brain Damage Blu-ray, and these are movies that I grew up loving. So to say it to a random person and be like, oh, fuck Street Trash, I never heard of it. Fuck Brain Damage. For me, it's like, well, these are movies that I loved, and these are cult movies. These aren't just like some bullshit that your homie made, like last week. It's like real movies from the 80s that have stuck around the test of time and people fucking are all about. 2 different movies showing my artwork love, like, yo, look at this item. One of them shows my art on a special feature, another one shows my art inside the booklet. So to me, to go, hey, this Ernest movie, maybe it will show some of my art in it if they talk about more recent times. It's not unheard of.
Fuck yeah.
But we'll see. We don't know how that's going to go yet.
Somebody's going to be rocking an Ernest Crystal Lake shirt.
With the way my fucking my journey is going right now, I can already tell you that there's going to be a few DVDs in the future for big name movies, like underground cult shit that I like, with my artwork on the cover. That's just a matter of time.
Fuck yeah. So Horrible Home Movies is just like the Candy Claw reboot?
So Horrible Home Video was kind of the offshoot of. So here's what happened. Candy Claw gets fucked over. We can't do nothing. And then me and 8 kind of went our own ways on it as far as doing our own mashups and stuff. He did his things, I did mine, but we didn't have anything housing it. We didn't have Candy Claw anymore to be the home for it. So he, not long after, maybe a year or 2 later, he starts up Mutant Morsels.
Yeah.
And then I started up Horrible Home Video a little bit after him. I think maybe a few months later, somewhere in there. And I was like, that's really sick. I'm like, that's super cool seeing that Candy Claw just got split into 2 entities.
Yeah.
Like, here you go. You got Mutant Morsels. You got Horrible Home Video. And for both of these splinter brands, like me and 8 Legs were like riffing on each other. Like, yo, what name should I use? And he shoot me like different names. Like, this is the name ideas. And he finally settles on Mutant Morsels. And then for mine, it's Horrible. And it is cool seeing that the brands that came from Candy Claw by the same 2 people who made Candy Claw were still, in a way, Candy Claw. So, like, if you were buying stuff from Mutant Morsel and from Horrible Home Video at the same time, like, you're getting the experience of what we were doing a couple years before. And, you get the differences, though. Like, for mine, you really got to see what we brought to the table for each of our own brands and what we brought to the table for Candy Claw. So, for Horrible Home Video, for me, it was more like photo editing, digital painting, mashups. I don't think he was doing mashups as much. I know he did some, but his was more like, here's a design for Pennywise, and here's a design for Super Mario, and I think he did a few mashups. I think one was for Zelda. But for me, it was like, let's focus on that mashup thing. It's not as much artwork as like what he was doing. It was more like digital art, like painting, like digital painting. Like, if you guys saw this file for the Ernest Goes to Camp Crystal Lake that I did, like, this shit is fucking immaculate. Like, this shit is crazy stupid good. But yeah, so we went our own path, And that just happened naturally. Neither one of us said to the other, hey, I want to keep doing what Candy Claw was doing, but do it on my own. We just did it. It wasn't like, and there was no like beef or misunderstanding. It was just, hey, look, we learned from this. We did this cool thing, and now I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And we just kind of went our own ways as far as the Candy Claw path went. But it's cool because I was able to see things that he was doing where I'm like, yo, that's got a little touch of Candy Claw, and like stuff that I'm doing. You can go, well, I'm still using the Horrible logo, and that's definitely a throwback from our days in Candy Claw, because when we were making a fake VHS, like that Horrible logo was being used. For me, it was just a joke. I was like, yo, I got this idea. Let's put stickers that say Horrible instead of horror on these VHS. Haha, okay, yeah, that's funny. But then I was like, yo, that could be a fucking brand. Like, that could be a thing. And it worked. Doing Horrible home video was probably... Candy Claw was a great experience, but for me, Horrible home video was the best experience I've had for selling things. I've never seen money like that before. I've never seen fucking shit sell that crazy. Telling me that on a pre-order over the course of 3 days that I could sell 200 shirts of one design or 250 shirts in a couple of instances. That shit, that to me was unheard of. Now, that's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. That's a lot of folding shirts, packing shirts, fucking printing tags, and doing all that shit. But the money was nice.
Fuck yeah.
And so it made it kind of worthwhile for the most part. But I was so busy I couldn't do nothing musically. There was no time for music.
I love that you do the parody VHS tapes, considering the fact that at the beginning of this interview you've telling a story about how your mom got out an old VHS
it was
shop
the whole point of the parody VHS was, okay, you know how you're talking about with like John Lejeune? I think I might have said his name wrong, but
John Lejeune or whatever.
What would you say? You said he was 10 years behind, but 20 years ahead. And so the whole idea with doing the parody VHS was like, yo, this is something I miss. I grew up in a household full of VHS, and I miss being able to pull these fucking tapes and like look at them. And this is what when I was a kid, if I wasn't out playing with my friends and riding bikes and doing all that dumb shit, I'd be at home pulling cassette tapes and looking at the cover art, or pulling books from my parents' like bookshelf, because they'd have a lot of Stephen King or fucking B.C. Andrews, all this random shit. And I'd be looking at the covers, or they'd have records, and I'd be looking at the art. It's that side of me that said, hey, I want to be an artist one day when I was a kid, looking at this stuff. And I'd go, man, this is a good cover. And you start learning what's a good cover, what's a bad cover. And with VHS, even the bad cover is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's bad enough, it's good. You could just look at it and go, man, there's so much comedy or so much you could take away from this poor design. And so with doing the whole Horrible home video thing, I want it to be like, yo, like, I want to give people that feeling of, here's this thing that doesn't exist in this universe, but now you have it. Like, you're holding a relic or an artifact from another fucking timeline, and it's in your hands. Like, there's no movie Ernest Goes to Camp Crystal Lake. There's no fucking what's the other ones? Fucking Pee-wee's Big Trouble in Little China, or fucking Army of Darkness with Urkel as fucking Ash. Like, shit that does not exist, and it shouldn't exist. But
it should.
The art is just good enough, and the art is just funny enough, and like, you pull it together and you get this really nice design. Like, I'm very fortunate in how well I understand what a VHS case or a DVD or whatever, all that type of shit should look like. So when I put these things together, somehow this shit popped off. When we first, with Candy Claw, we did the Ernest ones. We also did them for Horrible. I did them for Horrible, but we did them for Candy Claw, and I don't know how the fuck we managed it, but that goddamn thing, we made 100 of them, and they fucking sold out immediately. Like, this shit sold out faster than anything I'd experienced with Corpse Circus. I was like, what is this? Like, this shit sold out in a matter of a week. And I'm like, and we're getting fucking emails where people are pissed off, like, yo, what the fuck? You need more. I want to buy one. You guys are sold out. Like, that's when you know you're doing good, is when you got people bitching at you that you don't got the thing that they want when you had it. Right. You just didn't make enough. So with like Candy Claw, Horrible, I get a lot of that shit selling out.
Trying to get me a t-shirt. Them shits sell out in like 10 minutes, especially with the fat kid sizes. Bullshit.
I'm saying, well, here's the deal. So the problem with that, and this is what it really comes down to with anything like 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X, with that type of shit, you got to get it on a pre-order with me. Otherwise, I'm over here sitting on some like 4X or 5X that ain't selling because the one person who might have wanted it no longer wants it because they saw the price.
That's me and Rue.
You know what I mean?
We're that one people that want it.
But
there's two of us.
Well, yeah. So the thing is, like, if
I
you do it
feel
on
you,
pre-order,
though.
I'll fucking make any size you want.
Yeah. No,
But you got to buy it. And the problem is too, I don't know if you guys print shirts a lot yourself, but a lot of these print places, and I've talked to about maybe 30 or 40 in the last like 5 years. I've talked to a lot of different places and gotten quotes and try to find places that work for me. And one thing I've noticed is a common theme is that as soon as you go 2X and up, they want to start throwing out $4 or $5 per size.
shirt. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it used to be 10 years ago, it used to be $1 for every X. They would add $1, right? So like if, say, for example, if I was buying a shirt, and this is an example, these are just made up numbers, but let's say I was buying a shirt and it was like $5 for an XL, then a 5XL would be $10, right?
Wow.
And that's not like unmanageable. That's fine. You can go, well, I can still find a way to fucking make money off that. That's fine. I'll eat that if I have to, whatever. But nowadays it's like, oh, I want a 5X, and they're like $15. That's different.
Yeah. Like what?
Because now you got to
Trying to
pass.
sell it for
You know what
17
I'm
or some shit.
I go-
Damn.
Plus shipping.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm
plus
saying,
shipping.
I go to a place recently and I'm like, yo, I want to get some, X amount of shirts, and I want to get some XLs. They're like, yeah, the XLs are $5, $6, whatever the fuck their prices are. All right, cool. How much for a 5X? Oh, that's $16, $17. Really?
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that much fucking more material. So where the fuck do these prices come from?
Right.
So I don't know what the logic is there, but they know that they can charge more, so they do. And I think that's what it comes down to is they know
Just
that
more
you're going
fat
to sell it
people
for
now,
more,
so they know
so
they
they
can get
charge you
away
more.
with it.
Yeah, they know they also got you by the nuts if you want to fucking sell that size.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, as a seller, like, I understand when people are pissed off. When they're like, yo, where's the fucking 3X? Where's the 4X? Where's the 5? I'm like, well, here's the deal. If you ain't there for the pre-order, I ain't going to snag one. And the reason I ain't going to snag one is because I don't want to have a fucking 5X that I'm not selling. If I know I'm selling it, that's one thing. You know what I mean?
To throw a conspiracy on it, I wonder if it's because that they know that it's an American buyer. I wonder because it's in the United States.
Possibly. I mean, the shit's being made in other countries.
Exactly. So I wonder if there's like a way around it, like maybe like some type of cut through. Like, all right, first of all, you got to hide your IP address, or like, and in addition to go and like maybe get like some type of you ship it to here, but it automatically redirects to the United States, but yet the redirect address is in a different country. I wonder if because the out of country, the Chinas and all that stuff, they know they can charge more because America's a fat country for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a fat country, but it's not just that it's a fat country. It's also a country of comfort. So you got people who may not be a 5X, but they want a 5X.
Exactly.
See, that's the other thing. I get people who complain.
So I wonder if there's a way around that. Like, I wonder if you can maybe change your IP address and then maybe find out a way to get a.
Here's the way around it. Here's the way around it. You move to China, you go work for a sweatshop, and then you go make the fucking shirts and bring them back with you. That's probably the only way around it, to be honest.
I don't
know what I
think
mean?
so.
What it comes down to is if you're talking over the internet.
I don't think so. Like, you're talking over the internet because they don't know, because they never see you in person. So you could be like, well, you have a redirect address that's in Russia or Germany or Sweden. And like basically be like, oh no, this is the ship to address. And then in that ship to address, it's a PO box. And that P.O. box is like, no, we redirect that to the United States. So when the Chinese company sees that, they go, okay, oh, no, we're shipping to Germany. We're shipping to Sweden. We're shipping to Russia. They don't see the redirect address to be like, oh, okay, no, we're selling to an American person. No, we're selling to an American speaking or an English speaking person in Sweden or Germany or Russia. And so you get a different rate because each country has different rates for certain things that they're selling you. And I mean, it goes for everything. Even as so low as Netflix, you have different shows for different countries. So I mean, why wouldn't it be different? Like, like from the outside looking in, that America's fat. So all right, 5X, we're gonna sell that at a premium. So all right, so if you can make it to where they don't see that you have an American shipping address, then it's like, oh, we're not selling to America. You know, we're selling to a different country, and so we'll sell them at the normal price. That's just a conspiracy thing to throw out there. There's something to think about. Did you hang up on him?
I'm over here looking at your... No, I hung up on you because I stopped listening.
Yeah.
So I'm not here anymore.
Perfect.
It's terrible. It's terrible how quickly I was to just bail out on the cover. I'm just kidding.
We do it too.
I was looking at the YouTube and I noticed that it's doing a live guess at the words.
Oh,
it's
is it?
trying to
the comment.
it's trying to do close, doing a closed captions.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
I almost feel like we should come back, watch this show, and just read the captions to each other for an hour and a half.
I'm totally okay with that. We'll have to do it next time, though.
And just play it off straight. To sell them, I don't know, to throw out there something to think about. Yeah, it's still talking about what you were just saying.
All right, so you can go back to sleep.
Oh
Paul.
my God! Yeah, I just heard myself talking.
Uh-oh.
Says, do you hang up on me? Here, look. After no, I hung up on.
Holy fuck. Well, before we fucking run out of time, man, because I definitely want to play some music
Paul
for
falls
everybody.
asleep again.
For everybody tuning in and shit. So what's next? What can people look forward to from Corpse Circus, horror home movies?
Working on an animation for Checkmate's band, Conspiracy Camp. Conspiracy Camp is doing they got a new album out. I'm doing animation for that one, for one of their videos. That should be coming out. And then also for Corpse Circus, I got what do we got? We got a Drankenstein album coming out. We got a Killator solo. We got a Corpse Circus new album. We also got Ripped Off Remixes Volume 4. That's where we take more recent current beats or just stuff that we wanted to steal and remix things to that. We also got just came in today. I got copies of the Manson Brothers CDs. So if anybody who pre-ordered those, which everybody fucking, those things sold out quick. They were like $40 a pop. And this fucking thing sold out fast. And those just came in. Also the reproductions of the original version. It was like a one-off group that me and Grim had did. God, what else we got coming? More Drankenstein. Oh, Drankenstein's fucking Good Drink, Bad Tape. That's coming out. Fucking there's just so much stuff. I don't even know where to list it. So listen, if you guys out there listening and like Corpse Circus, go to corpsecircus.com and subscribe to the mailing list, where I send you messages like, hey, live now, Killator on Replicon Radio, shit like that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Tons
a lot of stuff coming.
There's tons of shit available right now, and you can save 20% by using the code Replicon.
That's right. If you want to buy some CDs, and it only works on CDs, because listen, stop yanking my balls, okay? But the CDs are cheap as it is, but if you put a bunch of CDs in your cart, and you tap in the code Replicon, 20 people can get 20% off their fucking order, because today is 20 on 2020. So fucking 20.
Fuck
buy
yeah.
20 CDs. I don't give a fuck.
And a Lunchbox t-shirt.
You know. Buy a Lunchbox t-shirt. Those things they came out beautiful.
Can we hear from
really
Lunchbox again?
Is Lunchbox still around?
Yeah, you guys want to hear from Lunchbox real quick?
Absolutely.
Hold on, let me go get him real quick.
Yeah, call him back in the room.
See where that.
Absolutely.
Let's see where the cat's.
The good old
Lunchbox.
kitty.
Where's that goddamn barking kitty?
Okay, here. He wants to meow for you guys. Ready?
Yes.
Alright. Look.
Holy shit.
Settle down, Lunch.
Fuck.
Settle down.
Wow.
Damn.
Okay, all right. I feel like
he was just getting wild there.
I feel like Lunchbox got way more ferocious. That went from a Chihuahua to a goddamn Rottweiler.
Lunchbox was
earlier he wasn't. Earlier he was still kind of playful. Now he ain't playing.
Yeah, he is not playing. I do. If a cat came up to me
he's hungry
and sounded like that,
it's feeding time.
I would run the other direction. I'd be like, "That's a goddamn mountain lion.
It's fucking madness.
That's a mountain lion."
You guys, do you guys like, what kind of movies you guys watch? You guys watch shitty movies or good movies? What do you watch?
I like both.
Mainstream movies. What do you watch?
I like shitty and good ones.
By default, I have to watch a lot of shitty horror movies.
Yeah, I like B.
Okay, so I'm a movie guy. I want you both to see if you could stump me. What's one of your favorite movies? And let's see if we could see what you got.
You want us to stump
how are
you
we
with
going to
our
stump
favorite-
you by telling you the answer?
I don't understand.
No, just tell me what do you like? What's one of those
You want us
movies
to
that
name
you
a
just like?
movie
This
we
is
don't
dope.
think
I
you
want to
would
see what my
know?
opinion is.
Okay, I'll go ahead and say my favorite horror movie of all time is actually two of them.
Doesn't have to be horror.
It's actually, well, I mean,
Okay.
we're already on the horror topic. Is the remake?
Okay,
of
horror
Texas, the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre with R. Lee Ermey. Both the
Really?
original with and also the beginning. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2 with R. Lee Ermey.
Really?
I think, in my opinion, out of all of the horror movies I've ever seen, and I love all. Leatherface is my favorite horror movie character. Ed Gein is my favorite serial killer. I love all of that.
Yeah. Obviously inspired by. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that as far as a horror movie goes, that those two are absolute perfection as far as terror goes, as far as gore.
But you said remake though?
The remake with R. Lee Ermey, and the first
Okay.
the first one
So-
would be Jessica Alba, and then there's also
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, which is basically the second one of that.
The sequel,
but,
yeah.
But also, the sequel.
No, I have not seen the sequel. I remember seeing the first one. I personally am a fan of the original. Not because I'm that kind of guy. Oh, it's got to be the original. Because, like, let me just throw this out there. I like John Carpenter's The Thing. That's a remake. I like The Blob from the 80s. That's a remake. I'm totally open to remakes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to give that one another chance. Just because you're over here being so passionate about it, now I'm like, well, maybe I'm just writing it off. Also, here's the other thing: who knows how I was when I watched it? Maybe I wasn't in the right place. Maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and that's what it really comes down to when watching a movie. You got to be open to it.
Oh,
if you ain't open
absolutely.
to it, then it's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'd never seen the second one. I'm gonna have to check that first one out again because I remember watching that. I remember not hating it. I remember enjoying it enough that I sat through the whole thing. So I mean, that's usually a sign right there that it's not bad. If something is bad, I bail out like 10 minutes in.
Right. The thing was is I loved the original. I saw the original as a kid, and I thought it was it was terrifying. Like the one where he like jumped out of the where she's in the scene where she's like running in between the sheets that are being dried in the field or in the backyard, and he jumps out of the fucking the second story window or whatever the fuck it is, and like he reps that chainsaw. It was terrifying. However, out of all of them, I think that the one with the R. Lee Ermey and Jessica Alba, the lighting is fantastic. Now, obviously, the Vietnam flashback build-up story is kind of cheesy. The first 30 minutes of it is cheesy until they actually get into the town where they get to the gas station, and then it starts to get.
So you're telling me. Oh, let me tell you. You're telling me the beginning of the movie is cheesy, and yet you stuck through and watched it.
Absolutely.
Because I do that all the time.
Because you know why? Because like you get tied to the characters. And you're like, well, I don't like you, and I don't like you, and I don't like you because this is fucking cheesy. And then like you get to the part where it's like, oh, I hope you die, and I hope you die, and I hope you die.
Well, of
and
course, yeah. There's the investment, and that's what it all boils down to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they get to this. They get in themselves in situations where it's like, wow, like it's portrayed in that movie in such a realistic fashion that it's like, wow, that's actually terrifying. Like that could happen. That could really happen. And the fact that and how they died, it's like, holy shit, like that's like real, man. Like I feel like that could actually happen. It's not just some cheesy fucking thing anymore. It's a fact, like, holy fuck, like that actually, like, holy shit, like this is terrifying. And then like you hear the chainsaw and and the beginning,
I mean,
the secondary one is the one that builds up to it, which is like makes it even more terrifying to me, because like it's like, holy shit, like, oh, there's a backstory to it. And it's like, fuck, man, like it just those two.
The reason I found, I'm sorry, Derek.
Oh no, go ahead.
I think the reason so for me, the build up on the original is more of, it felt, there's a realism to it in the acting and the way it's presented. It looks like a time that feels familiar. I'm not from the 70s myself, but you know, throughout the 80s, you see a lot of 70s in it. So there's a little bit of familiar feel and vibe throughout the movie. And then on top of that, and this is what really fucking did it for me, I think the part where I go, holy shit, like, fuck, I was like, this is just wrong. This is the scary part, and it's all the way at the end. All the way at the end when he's out in the middle of the fucking, it's broad daylight, he's in the middle of the road, and he's waving a fucking chainsaw around, despite the fact that truckers are zooming down the road. And to me, I'm like, that's fucking terror. This motherfucker don't give a shit. Like, fuck all these night scenes and shit that already happened. This motherfucker terrorizing and don't give a fuck who sees it. Even these fucking people driving by seeing this shit. Nobody's doing nothing. Nobody's saying nothing, and nobody can help. Like, that's it. I was like, that's some real shit. And I was like, that's what drove it home to me, to make me go, this is dope. As far as the original one, not to undercut the remake. I think the difference between the original and the remake too is, if you look at the real one from a perspective of like, this is happening, you can kind of buy into it more than you could, because again, you got the really great lighting and the really good fucking scene setups and the good score of the remake. You go back to the earlier one, it's so just kind of one take feeling. It's so raw. And I think that's why that last scene. Now the whole movie is slow to me, if you ask me, for the original.
Oh, absolutely.
Fucking slow.
Now here's the thing.
But
now
to get to that last part,
to touch base on that,
that's what
the unrealism of it, like the original, or not the original, but the first remake of with Arlie Ermy. Yeah, I can understand it. Okay, there's really no build up to it. They just kind of stumble upon that town, and then they come into an already established killing facility. Basically, is what it is. Now, when you get to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, with Texas Chainsaw, with Arlie Ermy and all that stuff, and they tell the backstory of Officer Hoyt and Leatherface and Thomas and all that stuff, and the grandpa, that one I think you might like more than the one with Jessica Alba, because it tells a backstory. It shows why they do what they do, and how, or at least what led them to become killers. And like, it totally cuts out of the cheesiness of it, but it's more of a story-driven horror movie that becomes like, holy shit, there's a lot more to Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning than there is to the first one. So if you're on that aspect of it, I highly recommend just go straight to Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning and watch that, and then maybe go back and watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, if I find that.
Yeah, with Arlie Ermy, as far as those two remakes go, because the beginning is so much more like in depth with the story, and like you get to know the characters, and there's actually more gore to it, and there's more like what the fuck is going on to it when it comes to that. So yeah, I can go on for a lot longer than that. I know you asked Paul his
We're out of time for anybody else to answer that question. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to ask me something, or I can ask you. Okay, so I'm reading the captions on this. It said remake a horror.
A horror?
I think it meant remake a horror film, but it said remake a horror. So.
Oh, that's you're just reading the damn captions again.
I'm over here. I'm mesmerized by how fucking wrong they are. And it's the simple things in life. You got to stop and smell the roses, and sometimes you got to stop and read the captions.
Absolutely.
But
well,
yeah. As far as
yeah.
Oh, you know what movie I recently rediscovered was I'd seen it back in the day, but I think it was just kind of after my time when it came out, and by the time I'd seen it, I just didn't care. But it was Wishmaster. I just saw that again for the first time since like, you know, the late 90s, and I was like, man, this movie's fucking good. It's got like everybody in it. It's got Robert Englund and fucking who else? Kane Hodder and bro, I mean, like everybody. Candyman's in there. Fucking Tony Todd. Like everybody's in this fucking movie, and then even like supporting characters from other movies are all up in, like horror movies are all up in this fucking movie. You got like Sam Raimi and or Ted Raimi, I mean, and then Danny Hicks, both of them from Evil Dead 2. Like, it's just weird how many people they crammed into this fucking movie. George Buckflower, one of my favorite actors. Now, I'm gonna tell you who that guy is. And as soon as I tell you who he is, you're gonna, at some point you're gonna go, I know this motherfucker. I've seen him in this. He is the most famous like bomb actor you've ever seen in any movie. He played a bomb in Back to the Future. He played a bomb in They Live. He played a bomb in fucking Village of the Damned. He played a bomb in fucking Wishmaster. He played a bomb in every fucking movie, and you've seen at least 2 or 3 of the movies he's been in. Look him up. George, quote unquote, Buck Flower. He is probably the best supporting actor you've ever seen in anything.
I don't know. There's a lot of
Wishmaster, man.
Adam Sandler movies out there that has a lot of supporting actors.
Oh yeah. I mean,
from Back to the Future, man. He's the homie. Yeah.
Let me look this up real quick.
I definitely know that dude.
George Buckflower.
Oh yeah.
I gotta tell you all the movies he's been in.
We
so
should
you've
have
seen
him on here.
They Live, Back to the Future, Village of the Damned. What else has he been in?
Starman. Fuck yeah.
God damn.
Fucking Starman.
Let's see. We'll pull up.
Go ahead, reach out to him. We should have him on
Darkman. He was in Darkman. I think he was in Darkman. Maybe that was
Waxwork too.
That was me. I wasn't it. But anyways, yeah, man, fucking Wishmaster. I just seen it for the first time, literally like 2 days ago, and I was like, fuck. I was like, you know, this movie so much better than I gave it credit for back when it came out. And I watch it now, and I go, man, this is like actually really good. There's some questionable special effects, but overall really good. Another movie I watched too. This one is terrible, but it's good. Terrible. Is Ice Cream Man with Clint Howard.
That was actually
I don't know if you guys seen that one.
I've seen it. I have that DVD. Actually.
It's yeah. See, so I'm over here trying to find a cheap Blu-ray because like eBay got them for like $200.
I'm not even thinking about a damn horror movie.
But it's one of those movies where like you watch it in the first 2 minutes, you're like, this movie knows what it is. Like it knows who it is. It knows who I am. It knows what we're here to do. I'm like, this movie is very aware of what it's doing, and I'm like, it's fucking great. You can watch it on Prime for free right now on Amazon. But yeah, Candyman. Ice Cream Man, fucking Wishmaster. 2 movies that I just recently rewatched for the first time in like however long they first came out, and I'm like, man, these movies are fucking lit. Like, they're really good. One of them particularly shitty, but still pretty good.
Yeah, you're so good. It's so shitty it turns good. That happens to a lot.
Kind of like this show.
Whoa, Lunchbox getting wild over here.
That cat is getting nuts.
It sounds like several cats.
There's a lot of cats.
A whole bunch
Holy
of
fuck.
It's just one cat. I know he sounds like multiple cats, but he's just...
This cat just turned into a lion.
Right. That's what's up. Well, unfortunately, Killator, we're completely out of time. We want to play some music for everybody. We got like 15 minutes left, so
we gotta go.
I do have to ask you the question that we asked all of our guests. So you got one more question. We were talking about the movies and shit a lot, but essentially, man, if you got 3 albums that you just could not live without, they either inspire you as an artist or inspire you as a musician or whatever.
Right on the spot, right now, just off the top of my head.
Right now.
Okay, right now. Number 1 would be MF Doom's Food, which actually inspired one of my albums, Vomit, and I completely fucking stole all his beats and remixed my shit to it. But MF Doom, easily one of the most influential rappers that I've ever had the pleasure to listen to. As far as what the other 2 spots for, goddamn. we're just gonna say it's all the same album 3 times. Okay, how about this? For albums that inspired the shit out of me, that made me go, wow, this is wild. I gotta do this. Another one I liked was Nodis, www.com. It's a really good album. I'm a huge fan of especially back in the day, like 20 years ago. Nobody could touch what Esham and Mastermind was doing. I can't lie and say that I've fucking been following more recently, but that album in particular, the production level, fucking for the time and for what they had done previous to that, like it was just untouchable, and it's just a fun album to listen to. For my third spot, if I could listen to it nonstop, all day, goddamn. Fuck, y'all really got me stumped over here.
Yeah, we be doing that.
God, I gotta pull one out of my ass here and figure it out. I don't want to let the listeners down. Top 3. God damn.
It's all right. Take a few seconds.
Fuck, dude.
Take a few seconds. It's okay.
I don't know. Fuck. Oh, God, I'm about to have an aneurysm.
I literally, I feel his panic.
Sounds good. Feels good.
Yeah, no, it's a tough spot to put me in. If I'd had a little bit of time, I would have came up with some really nice, glossy answers. Honestly, that MF Doom is definitely...
Yeah, there you go.
Let's just go ahead and let's throw out...
I don't think that's on the actual album, but it's good.
Oh, I know. How about fucking any goddamn thing? I don't fucking know. I really don't have...
Amy Grant.
That's funny. That's
Amy
real funny
Winehouse.
because when it comes to horror movies and shit, I got my top movies. When it comes to movies in general, I got my top movies.
All right, so how about this? How about we transfer it to the 3 movies? You said no? You said no, we don't have time?
All right, so we're just going 3 or we're going 5?
3, because we ain't got time, man. We're trying to play some of your fucking music.
We don't got time, so let's go for the 3 slots. We got the following movies. We got Street Trash going right up in there at number 1, even though it's not really number 1, but it's going to be in there.
All right.
Number 2, we got Brain Damage. And number 3, let's go ahead and throw They Live in there. That's a good one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Dope.
All right, we got to fucking go so we can play some of your fucking music. Because me and you
All right, I got to go buy some beers, so leave me alone.
Yeah, you go buy beers. We're going to play some Corpse Circus for everyone to enjoy. Make sure you guys follow Corpse
Thank you.
Circus. Go to corpsecircus.com. Use the code Replicon. Save 20% on CDs right
Replicon.
now. Only 20 people get to do it, so do it. Hurry up. Buy them.
That's right.
Where can they follow you? Where can they keep in touch so they know everything going on with Horrible Home Videos? And
Go to corpsecircus.com and be sure to subscribe to our mailing list. There's a mailing list there when you go to corpsecircus.com, and that's the best way. And then if you want it, there's Instagram or Facebook. You can always find us that way. Just look us up. Or you can just hit me up at Killator at corpsecircus.com. That's my email, and I will eventually reply. I'm pretty good about responding to emails from fans and supporters because without you guys, I wouldn't be shit.
Eventually, kind of cordially.
Fuck yeah, man. And if somebody sends you money, maybe you'll draw them something too, right?
Send me money. Guys, can I go buy some beer now?
Yes.
Fucking get out of here, man. Get off. Go.
All right. Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Hell yeah.
You have a good evening, all right?
Thanks for hanging out with us, man. We'll definitely have to do it again.
For sure.
Bye.
All right, peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy snap.
Yo. We're still here, motherfuckers.
It's
Barely.
late. Yeah, I'm ready for nights.
You thought it was over.
It should be over.
You guys
Thought it was over.
You guys are getting a treat for me still being here.
I think you're getting a treat for me still being here as well.
Oh, shit. Treats all around.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
literally
like-
eating a
He's
treat.
literally eating treats over there.
It's like Christmas time.
I'm having my treat.
I'm kind of mad that those Twizzlers didn't come out earlier in the evening.
I've been here all
Maybe-
night.
I know, he's been chowing on them all
Has
night.
he?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I've been enjoying the interview too much to even notice. And also, kudos to you for not cranking the rapper, because that is very difficult to not make excess noise.
Oh, you ain't here, huh?
I didn't hear it. I was listening
Shout
to the
out to
interview.
motherfucking Killator. He got his motherfucking beer. His cat barks. He even sent me a picture.
It borks.
That shit
Shout
was
out.
dope. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't believe we ran out of time. I couldn't tell you the last time that happened like that.
I did not see that interview going that well. Like,
No, it was dope.
that long. Like, no.
Make sure you guys go support, man. I know we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it enough. So go to corpsecircus.com. You can pick up any of the CDs. The first 20 people to do it save 20% by using the code Replicon. He didn't have to do that.
Which may be out already. You might
Could
have
be.
missed your chance, but
We
doesn't hurt to
literally
go
talked
check.
to him too long for it to be valid anymore.
Could be. But make sure you check it out, support it. And even if you don't enjoy the music, you'll enjoy the fucking art. You'll enjoy the fucking shit at Horrible Home Video. Dude makes fucking insane fucking design.